Let's begin some D&D. Dungeon Master?
Yes.
Firstly, actually, we should introduce ourselves.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah, it's a good call. I'll start with me because then we'll go this way because we'll do the opposite. Hi, I'm Tommy. I own the Round Table. If you've been here before and you like the place, thank you so much for coming back. I do recognize some faces, and I see new faces, which is wonderful. Thank you. Board Game Cafe, game designer, all that fun stuff. It's not about me. Who are you?
Here's a few more.
Hi, nice to meet you. I am Elisa Teague. Hi, everyone. I'm Elisa Teague. I am a game designer, RPG author. Am I getting feedback? No? Yes, I'm good. And puzzle designer. You may know me from such games as the puzzle chapter in Tasha's Cauldron of Everything. I wrote I was lead designer on the Essence 20 role-playing system and wrote the Transformers role-playing game, G.I. Joe, My Little Pony, which is coming out soon, and Power Rangers role-playing games. I'm also the designer of the Ward Lanes campaign setting for 5e, which is tied to the Little Whiz Kids minis, if you've ever seen those, and a few board games.
Did you mention Tasha's? Can we?
I mentioned Tasha's first. Board games like Kingdom Hearts Talisman, Betrayal at House on the Hill, Widow's Walk, Apocrypha Adventure Card Game. Geek Out as my party trivia game, my brand new kids family game Incognito, and a bunch of others. But anyway, hi, nice to meet you. Sorry if I am squeaky.
Hi, I'm Keith Baker. I am best known for creating the campaign setting of Eberron. Anyone hear that? And also the card game Gloom. More recently with my company Together Studios, I have made Illimat, the Adventure Zone Bureau of Balance, Phoenix Dawn Command, a bunch of other things. And I am just here to play some D&D.
Let's do that.
Roll some dice.
Yes. And I am Ed Greenwood, creator of the Forgotten Realms, and and way too much other stuff to list.
Yeah, what did you say it was? 500 bucks? 700 bucks? I can't remember.
542 mumble.
You lost track after the first 100.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Whatever hits me this week.
And I am Devin. I shall be the Dungeon Master for this evening. I was the lead writer of the Legacy of Mana campaign setting, and am the current RPG developer of Linvander Studios.
Woohoo!
I'm the entire team right here.
Do you order yourself around a lot, though?
Yeah, well, you see, I thought about giving myself a day off, but I haven't actually been putting in enough work, so I don't think I deserve it.
I was about to say,
yeah.
You looked in the mirror and just said, "Get to work, you lazy piece."
Every morning.
We just finished filming 2 whole days of a show called Destiny of Worlds, where all of
Or is it Worlds of Destiny?
I don't know.
Destiny
That's
of
where we're
Worlds.
at. And so you'll get to see that out on YouTube soon enough. We just finished recording it. And this little excerpt here is kind of a fun bonus content piece we're doing with
Epilogue.
the epilogue. It's the epilogue of Merrix and
Coda.
and
I believe it's an
Elminster.
epilogue.
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 An eggologue.
Epilogue.
Dungeon Master?
Epilogu. Yes. I won't spoil anything, but in an upcoming series you'll be able to watch, if you stay tuned to the Six Sides of Gaming YouTube channel in the upcoming weeks, some things happened involving Elminster, Merrix, and some other characters. And both Merrix and Elminster are currently hurtling through a mist of ethereal energy.
We should note this is important to clarify because the first time that word was used, I thought it was hurling. And so we are.
Why don't you actually give me a
hurling.
Constitution saving throw?
Well, 19.
Okay, well you're not hurtling, or you're not hurling. But what about Elminster?
Planar travel, you get used to it. The question is, am I in front of him?
I shall need to fortify myself.
That is an excellent question. If Elminster is currently hurling, is Merrix in front or behind him?
hands up for behind him. Hands up for in front getting covered. Or so behind is getting covered, front is not getting covered.
No. You're all misunderstanding. It's not that sort of hurling. Hurling is a game played with
Yes.
wooden sticks. And
He can't get enough of it.
Yes.
He's always hurling, even when traveling through the plains.
Yes.
All right.
Oh, do we have a game going on? I'm sorry.
Yes. Long story short, the demi-plane of Kronos is currently undergoing some management adjustment, and two members of the Temporal Mystics have somehow also wound themselves up in the ethereal plane through pretty much the same things that brought our two other gentlemen there. It definitely was not their fault. At least that's how you're going to write it down, right?
Oh, certainly. Whichever fiction you like.
Yes. And as the the gray mists surround the two of you, and you kind of slow down, setting your selves kind of into a sort of a floaty, levitational ease. You do
Floaty levitational ease.
yes, in various poses, I would imagine.
We could just do one of those 70s TV cop shows.
Yeah.
And as you strike a pose, bathing in the victory of your earlier success,
That's true.
you see two figures looking very confused, kind of stumbling forward into the mist. Two small fox-like individuals. One a ghostly white and the other far too pink.
I am the perfect amount of pink. Oh, I already did it. I am the perfect amount of pink.
Oh, bloody hell.
You were caught in an undisclosed event.
Of course. Always an undisclosed event.
It wasn't me.
Of course.
Okay, I gotta tell you, I've been in this place before. It was like the woolly weald of Wimberwill with Warden
We
Woolly.
swanda.
This must be the fearless foxes of Foxy Fields or something like that. I'm saying, it's
we
one of
are.
those things.
I would adopt that title.
All right.
So we know who they are.
You know who we are?
You've definitely...
Of course we know who they are. We know everything.
Yes.
Correct?
I know everything.
Of
I don't know
course.
about you.
You wrote the book on it, I think, right? In a year?
Well, I have the book on it, of course.
My sister.
Yes.
Look, it appears to be those from another world that have entered ours. They are quite possibly the reason for this mess.
A mess, you say. What's going on?
Good day to you, friends.
Oh, good day. Merrix, Kenneth, Baron.
Yes.
Lord Seneschal of Sharn.
Yes.
My card.
Yes. And
You say you got a mess? We've been dealing with those. frankly.
Elminster
It's what we do.
Shadowdale at your service. The wizard arrives precisely when blah blah blah.
So we put them away. We read them, put them away. We will have to save those for some other time.
Oh. Curious.
You need to get home.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
Good.
Was hoping to.
We are here to help you. But the problem is,
Must
we
feed
don't
pussy.
know how to get you home.
That's a problem,
Oh.
Is it a problem, though, or an opportunity?
Opportunity?
Well, for the cat, it's an opportunity, but for
Yeah.
Leo, who'll get eaten by the cat, it's a problem. So we
That's
should
exactly
get
right.
home.
Confused.
Okay, tell us the problem, kid, and we'll see where we go from there.
Yeah.
You don't belong here.
Not here, no.
No.
Do you belong here?
I belong everywhere.
That's a
Oh.
useful
Oh.
way to be.
Oh, that,
If we don't get you
that's
out,
a good slogan.
Okay.
You'll never get out.
That is a problem,
So we need to get you out soon.
I-
And if you don't get out, I think we may
All
have
right.
more problems.
Let's get some basic here.
Yes.
What's in the way? What's stopping us from getting out?
Yeah.
I look out into the vastness. What do I
The
see?
vast of the deep ethereal plane, the space between worlds, the glue that holds all the universe together.
Yeah. Where is it again?
It's
It
where
is
I
everywhere and nowhere.
Ah, okay.
It's where I left all my
Do you know how to get
songs.
them out?
Got it.
I don't know how to get them out.
We totally know how to get you out.
How do you-
Excellent.
Excellent.
I'm like a lady with confidence.
Gazing out into the ethereal nothingness, several colored, what can only be described as curtains, begin to weave into your vision. And it is at this point that, for lack of a better term, the audience shall get to decide which is the one that forms. They are going to be traversing into one of the various inner planes, of which we have the Shadowfell, the Feywild, the plane of air, earth, water, or fire. I would like to know which plane they should venture into. All right, so
democracy at work.
Yes.
I love it.
I'm hearing a lot of Feywild. I heard some Shadowfell, and I heard Fire were the three most wild and deadly ones. So, let's go for hands up for Shadowfell.
The world.
Okay, Feywild.
Fire. I like some fire.
That's a good amount.
Ooh.
Plane of Fire.
We do have
Okay,
all
and just for good measure, Air. Hey.
Just saying, I'm walking around with
And,
Air
magic
is
box
human.
people. As far as
Earth?
I'm concerned, we're already in the
Anybody
That's
like
just
Earth?
putting
All
a
right,
hat on
and
the hat.
water. Hey. All right. Looks like we're going to the Feywild.
Seriously, people? We got two magic trickster fox magicians, and you're putting us in the Feywild? It's a little bit of a hat on a hat. I'm just saying.
Well, we all wearing hats.
Good point. I do like a good hat. Let's go.
All right. An opalescent white swirling vortex appears before you, and there's nowhere else to go.
All right, I'm just making sure. Foxtrot, is that thing a door or a enemy?
What did you call me? Fox? What?
Oh, do you have a name?
My name is Eke.
Icky, got it.
Eke. This is my sister
I'm
Iki.
Iki.
Okay, the door. Is that a door? Or is it going to attack us and try and eat us? Because I've run into some moss that tried to suck out people's memories, and frankly, that looks just as weird.
Spoilers.
Oh,
I'll
I
walk
forget
toward.
that. I totally
it's a
forgot.
long story.
Oh, all right.
Is it
It'll
actually?
come to you. No, it won't actually. Never mind.
Is it actually a door?
Yes.
It is a door.
And is this
Is
one
it
of
a
those
jar?
cases?
No, it's a door, not
It's
a
a
jar.
door, not a jar. Okay.
This is a jar.
No, it's a door.
Okay.
All right, now I want to get out of here. That's a door. Is this an obvious conclusion?
Okay.
Yes. She will just she pushes you right through.
Sounds good.
Iki, we don't know where that went.
We're going.
And I'll rush in after,
Okay.
leaving just Iki and Elminster.
After you.
What's the rush?
What else would you like to do, my lady?
Follow you through this door.
Okay. Bye.
I'll just hang out for a little bit.
You don't hear any
Chest
screaming.
through.
Question.
Yes.
No, not yet.
Always a good sign.
If I peer through, can I peer through and see what's going on before
you like
I
to try
step
that?
through? Oh no. Yes, I'll do it. Of course I will.
Okay. You stick your head into the vortex and it sucks you in.
Okay.
Yeah.
You did find out what was on the other side.
Surprisingly,
Yes, I did.
Yeah.
Surprisingly, the mortal body can't handle being in two planes at once. It doesn't really work very well.
That's fair.
But as the opalescent white light bathes you, surrounds you, there's a sort of a warmth, a little bit of firefly glow.
Warm light.
As you find yourself standing amidst large mushrooms, gorgeous trees, sweeping landscapes of twilight, but everything is still somewhat gray, somewhat faded, as if you are still on some sort of ethereal border.
Is this one of your homes?
Well, I just got a 34 Arcana check, so if I had to guess, I would say it is a sort of ethereal border with some sort of Fey-related theme, maybe Thelanis or
Well, they don't
something
call
like
you
that.
super genius for nothing.
Fair enough. Some kind of Feywild, if I had to guess.
Is this anywhere that we would know from our home?
No. Although it is similar to what you would expect the dream world to be.
Oh, not again.
Oh, so any individuals who seem to be alive aside from our four selves?
Yes.
And?
Now that you mention it. There is what looks to be a large tree with a door carved into it, and outside this door are two large, scruffy, yellow-eyed, gray hounds chained, and they are currently on their haunches, growling and barking.
I just want to say, Shadowdale, if you see any sheep bouncing around, don't look at them.
Okay.
That'll make sense to everyone in a bit.
Yeah, okay. No sheep. Why would we look at sheep when we have a McDonald's right here?
Yeah, I know. Hey, guys.
They don't appear friendly.
No, they're
cousins
howling,
yours?
and I
You know
will
them?
need you to make wisdom saves.
What? Already?
Yes.
Oh, great.
Ah, yes. Excellent.
Now, ordinarily, these beasts, of course, would have a stat block provided for me, and they would have a DC set to that. However, I'm going to tell you right now,
That's a +5 anymore. That's a bummer.
based on that 34, I don't want to use the DC in the stat block. So, I have a question. I'll let you choose. Easy, medium, hard, very hard. So we'll start with easy, medium, hard. Yeah. There we go. Very hard. We're going to go for hard. Changing the DC
Any
up.
votes for Tumessen?
So, what do we have for that wisdom save?
I got 26.
20.
22.
15.
That's what you're looking for.
Yes.
But wait, I'm doing it.
What? Already?
What you got?
I'll have time.
Okay. Let's do it.
I'll have time to do another one. Yeah. Immediately, sensing that I am in trouble.
Okay.
I mean, I know you haven't described anything yet, but it's Iki. You see this pink fox spin her hands around until it creates this like glittery, pinkish, orangish blue. It's an orange and blue,
Good
really,
timing.
but whatever. But it's
Yeah.
really pink. It has a pink tinge, of course. And put her hand in and pull from tomorrow a huge pack of beef jerky treats, like a giant pack of beef jerky treats.
Is there a place in the future that has these beef jerky treats?
Everybody has beef jerky treats.
Wait, is there a place in the
Dried
future? There's
chipped-
no place in the future that has beef jerky treats? Because
Yeah.
that tells us.
I don't
we're on
want
the
to be
edge
part of that
apocalypse.
future.
I don't know
Who
what's
doesn't
going
like
on.
beef jerky treats?
All
Even
right.
vegans make beef jerky. Carrot bacon.
I feel like that is the most innocent thing I've ever pulled from tomorrow.
Yeah.
Like, as far as shenanigans.
Yeah, the second most one was that bottle of Epicac, which was totally used for reasonable things.
Oh, if there's
Yeah.
the epic hack in the future, there's beef jerky.
Yeah.
Okay.
What kind of beef is what we want to know? I mean,
That's kind of what I'm...
Oregon.
Yeah, it could be
jerky,
like hellhound
you know?
beef or.
Like pepperoni. Like, this is for these doggies.
Okay.
Hi, doggies. And I will, make
This
friends.
is immediately, and then they howl. Yes.
Yep.
Sure.
And you rolled under a 20.
No, I'm bribing them and making friends with them.
Okay.
Puppies! Uh-oh, what'd I do? Puppies!
Is it gonna work?
Well, as they do howl and you try to attract their attention, you do find yourself kind of overcome with this sense of supernatural fear. Your fur goes completely on end. You can still attempt to animal handle them. You will have disadvantage because you are frightened.
But
My beef
who
jerky does
survived?
not cancel my
You're the one that got
The
feared?
DC was a 20 because that was the hard.
Okay, so all of us passed.
Yes.
You're all on my list.
I'm not signing nothing. Oh,
Wait, let me roll my disadvantage. See if I can get lower than a 2.
You certainly could. It's possible.
oh.
2.
2.
But also, beef jerky.
Yeah, I mean, that should probably cancel out the disadvantage, which would make it a 2. I mean, that's better. Right?
I mean,
Oh, there we go.
That was a waste of.
Yeah, they do. They do enjoy the pepperoni, but as they come up, they just take a huge chomp of your hand and everything in it.
Are they actually adding injury to insult?
Yes.
That's their new nicknames.
Let's
Injury and
see.
insult.
That's going to be 11 piercing, and you're frightened. So 14 psychic on top of that.
Oh no! Well, now, so I see this dog do this, and I'm.
So there are two. One of them has run up and just chomped on Iki's hand and is currently masticating.
That was 11
Careful.
plus 14.
That's a word.
Well, I think it's time to end this.
Fine.
You guys were saying something?
I was just saying, you got this, Pink Ranger? Or you want me to?
Don't worry, Merrix can hook you up with a cool prosthetic.
Yeah.
It's not
Disintegrate.
off.
So I don't want them to hit her anymore. So I'm immediately gonna
That's okay,
jump
I'll-
into action.
Sure. I'm gonna go in and hit the guy, but hit the wolf while he's crawling. You know, forward
Yes.
You are, I believe, disintegrating the poor beast.
Yes, I am.
You disintegrate.
How many?
here. That would be 10 dice. I think, isn't
Yeah.
it? 10 days?
It's
What
a
is
lot.
it?
This
10d6?
Elminster takes care of business.
That is. He's, I
Are
believe.
they? Are they? They're very good. Very good. Let's do it.
I will say the first time we did this, he rolled them one at a time. All right. Nope. Yep. That one, however, is a higher number.
Does anyone else think this is a little overkill?
Disintegrating a dog.
Looks like 41 plus another 40 for 81.
I tried to make
Disintegrate-
friends
yeah.
with
Yeah.
these dogs. I'm
That's
just
Elminster,
saying.
folks.
Yeah.
So,
mess around.
what is this? Is this like an underhanded kind of a throw? Is this more of a point and pew thing? Is this like a over the top?
Here, doggy, doggy.
And it just vanishes from existence. And the other one, seeing this happen, begins to just backs up, huddles over by the door.
Good doggy.
Poor Injury.
Yeah.
Don't make me.
You're no longer
Here, kid, let me fix that up for you.
you're no longer frightened because the thing that frightened you has
That
ceased
will
existence.
Be 20 points of healing.
Oh, thanks. How
And we
much?
see a door in
28.
front of us.
20.
Oh,
Is this start? I can give you another shot if you want.
nope.
I'm just kind of gonna spray on a little, synthetic flesh I've been developing. I'm using it for all the flesh golems these
spray on
days.
flesh?
I'm thinking, yeah, it's pretty exciting.
Yeah.
That's got a lot of practical uses.
He's an
Now,
artificer after
it
all.
Can you
does.
make it match?
I do. I'm gonna have to do a little prestidigitation work here, but hang on a second. There we go. There we go. There's her fur back.
I still have a broken
Now,
nail.
I gotta say, I could replace the whole arm for you if you want.
I'm okay. Hey, good news. We have plenty of rations for the whole trip.
Yeah, I love beef jerky. Thanks for that.
Here's the important question about that, though: is this invention of yours smart enough to realize that it's a furred hand?
Oh, I was just adding those cosmetic touches afterwards. She asked about that because
Okay.
it didn't initially. We had to do a second round of prestidigitation cosmetically to get the fur up.
Okay.
I'm hoping it's a good match. It's close, but there might be a slight sort of fur scar you can sort of make out there. Frankly, I think some highlights just through the fur in general would be kind of a good look.
I'll take care of it later.
While they're having that conversation, I'll go up beside Elminster to the door and stare at the door.
I'm just saying, there's a shifter salon in Dragon Eyes that I think it would work for you.
Ooh.
We'll talk
I
after
don't
this.
know those words.
Any idea where we are, wizard?
Yeah, we're standing in front of a door that two snarling dogs were guarding, which would be a darned good reason not to go through it if we were sane. But being as we're adventurers,
I mean, basically,
open the door, sir.
Well, before we do that, I'm going to go up to the door and just inspect it for any traps or anything. See if it's safe enough to just open.
Cautious one.
I also do want to say, I mean, I get we're in fairy tale land and, the dog already bit someone. So Merrix, who has been dressed in a suit, will, snap his fingers, do a motion, and roll up just a big suit of, chunky warforged armor spreading over him. And this one, you've seen him in the sort of sleek, black, shiny version. This is sort of bigger and heavier. And just saying, I you don't look. We're missing the kid in the armor, so I think next time let me jump in front of the biting dog. Okay?
You think this is a brother or something?
Might be.
Okay.
What do I see at the door? Investigation.
What do you see at the door?
No, do I see at the door?
What does he see at the door?
Well,
Yeah.
hold on.
I know.
My investigation is 17.
17. Does he see anything on the door?
That's cute.
Not a door.
17.
Not a door.
Oh,
All right, then your
What?
sounds good to me. Your exquisite investigation has determined that there is in fact no door here.
This is not a door, Elminster.
It is in fact a giant gaping acid-dripping maw that is currently chomping down on you now.
All right. I just want to point out, I just said, let me take the things that are biting people.
wait.
It will chomp onto Eke's body. Ooh, that's
Wait,
far.
wait. Suspend.
Okay, mid-chew.
Okay, so
You have stopped time for 1
so
minute.
in Legacy of Mana we have this power called Suspend. The
True.
Chronomancers can make one round extend into 1 minute of mental conversation.
Turn your hourglass around.
Oh, this is more than a minute. They're good. I accept. So I go, "Ah!" And so I see these teeth just like very slowly, the drool is slowly falling over. Like, fellows,
Yeah, how's it going over there? That
I
doesn't
would
look
like
so
to
good.
take this moment to point out that this is not a door.
I could have sworn this was a door a minute ago. Do you think if I lesser reversal this, it could turn back into a door?
I do not believe you can do that in time, as the teeth are closing down on me.
Would this be a good
Okay.
time to fireball down the maw before
Yes,
it closes and
I
suspend?
think so.
Does it have a mouth in there, or is it just kind of a blob?
Very
Because, I mean,
large,
is there a room for a
acid-dripping
fireball?
tongue, jagged teeth that look like they could slice a fox in
I
half.
like your thinking.
Fire in the hatch.
All right.
Elminster, might I make a suggestion?
Yes.
Please wait until I'm out of its mouth before firing down the hall.
Oh, all right, but it's not very sporting of you.
Also, I mean, you're cramping my style. Disintegrate,
Oh, okay.
fireball.
Okay,
no,
this
no,
is
it's your
my-
turn. Your
my,
turn. Your
It's that's longer than a minute. So
Yeah.
as I cannot, and when it snaps, I have the alert feat.
Yes.
So I'm assuming I would have known if it was going to attack me.
Well, how about this? We'll do an initiative off, and if you can beat it in initiative, you can get away.
All right, here we go.
All right.
Eh.
You.
Eh.
I would like to use my reaction for alacrity,
Okay.
and I would like to lower its initiative by 4 and raise mine by 4.
Okay.
So mine was a 14, it is now an 18, and it is reduced by 4.
Okay. It's a 5 now.
I go first. Misty step. Out. The other way, behind Elminster, and when I like peek behind his cloak and take a puff of one of his pipes.
Wow, which one?
Oh shit. There are 3. What are the pipes, Elminster?
You might not know. I should
Which
probably
one?
roll.
No, I mean, what are the colors?
Ah, well, there you go. Here's it.
Oh, they all look like meerschaum pipes, dark brown wood polished, with one has silver mountings, one has gold mountings, and one has mountings of a slightly glowing alloy.
That one.
Which one is that one?
That's the ever-smoking pipe.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Smoke billows out and covers all of you in complete obscuration.
Great job.
And now
Yeah.
Elminster can't see the mimic to fireball it.
Aha! Did you hear that?
As
The mimic!
caustic mist
Oh.
spews forth from its gaping maw, and everyone could please make a dexterity saving throw.
I tried.
But,
And
but wait a minute. Caustic mist can't get through the smoke. They bind each other.
Oh.
That's just science there, son.
That's their
You broke the
science.
dungeon master.
Physics has no place here.
Good point. Welcome to the Feywild.
Oh, does that mean I don't have to build any more latrines? Good. By the way, there is another character with us.
yes, yes.
I was going to say, Continuum has been doing a great job helping
Yeah,
us.
yeah,
with
Continuum's here.
this,
Once again, I shall ask for the DC. We have very easy. Of course, yeah, easy. Theron, what the hell are you doing?
Theron, thank you. We appreciate you.
Moderate. Oh, you guys are soft. Hard. Yeah, that's better. Very hard.
Oh, come on, staff. The staff went for very hard. I think.
Nearly impossible.
Oh, hey!
Hey! I think that's a toss-up between very hard and nearly impossible. So
Some of them voted twice. This is very democratic.
welcome to the Feywild.
Right.
All right. So what do we have for dexterity saves?
Oh, no.
Excellent.
I rolled a natural 1.
Excellent. Good.
I rolled 19.
That's not bad.
That should be enough for me to
Is
cast.
that with your dex added?
No, that's just
Oh,
a
yeah,
natural
that's-
roll.
okay. Oh,
did you
So
say-
that should be enough to
Mirror
so I can
muscle.
cast my absorb elements spell.
Yes. Very good.
Yeah.
I am going to have a flash of genius.
Flash of
My
genius.
flash of genius suggests that perhaps around me, the mist might bind to the smoke. But anyhow, I have with that, a 23.
23. Yeah.
What did Iki get?
17.
Oh, these poor foxes. Okay. The two foxes take 27 acid damage and are blinded with acid.
My eyes. My eyes. My foxy little eyes.
Elminster is only going to take 13, and you absorb the rest.
13?
Probably into your meerschaum pipe.
Okay, very good.
And Merrix,
Feels
what
good,
was your
Michael.
total? 23?
23.
Yeah, 13.
All right.
And no blindness.
Aww. The goggles, they do nothing.
Actually, they do, in your case.
Yeah.
Yes.
That worked. I mean, honestly, that's probably the answer. Is I just said, "Oh, great, mist."
Yes, goggles. Yeah.
I've been wearing these things all week.
Very well. We have two blinded foxes. Elminster
The rest of us
is,
are, of course,
doing quite
standing
well.
in a giant cloud of mist. So I mean, might as well
Oh.
just be blind.
Yes, smoke is still billowing out of the pipe. Would you like to turn that off?
Oh, very well.
Wait.
I shall turn it off. It was just I was just about to start blowing things. Shapes. The pipe, but all right then, I'll turn it off.
And then Merrix, the smoke is dissipating as the pipe is disengaged. You can see a door with a gaping maw dripping acid. Would you like to do something about it?
Oh, I mean, if it's a door, I better go up and. Oh no.
Oh, well, no, I
Wait a
think
second.
sorry, we've established it's not a door.
I know. It's a jar. No. Yeah, I think this seems like a fine opportunity for a fireball.
Yeah, well, yes.
I mean,
Yes,
since
yes,
he
yes.
jumped out of the way, so
He did jump out of the way.
Your turn.
Okay.
Your turn.
Okay. I mean, I don't want to be impolite.
No.
We're in Canada after all.
All right, that's looking pretty good.
Whew. That's unfortunate.
All right, so that is a DC of 18. And
2.
All right, we're talking about 35 fire damage. Hope we didn't give you a little heartburn.
Yes, the little bead of fire just fires out from what is this? The wrist, like a wrist rocket type deal, or is this more of a?
Yeah, actually, pull it off the helmet, fling it.
Oh yeah, just
Yep.
okay. This little bead of fire whizzes directly into the opening, sharpened teeth. There's a gulping sound, and then a belch, and then an explosion. And then there is definitely not a door in your way.
Ah, excellent. Wait, I can't see that.
Yes, you can wipe the acid
Okay,
out of
yeah.
your eyes. It's,
Is there enough
there you
left
are.
for a good dinner?
Oh.
What, sorry?
Is there enough of it left for a good dinner?
I would not be eating that.
I
Oh,
have
fried
some
mimic
beef,
is
I have some
actually-
beef jerky if you're hungry.
As the smoke begins to settle down and the opening is revealed, you see an orange-skinned woman, black hair, ram horns from her forehead. What did you do to my door?
Is it the sheepkeeper?
It looks a bit like that.
Okay, but not exactly the same?
Probably
or?
not.
All right.
It's more
Orange
with your
skin.
door.
Horns coming out of her head.
Yes.
Okay.
I'll
Just wanted to check.
I'll step up. Just say, hey, nice to meet you. Here's my card. Sorry about the door. You can contact me for, we'll cover the costs. Just send it to Human Resources. But you might want to
Whatever.
not have carnivorous doors if you don't want people to try and knock their way through them.
I don't want people coming into my home. That's why I have a carnivorous door. And guard dogs.
Well, guard dog, technically speaking. I don't know where the other one went. It seems not to be on duty anymore. You might want to get better dogs.
It's okay. I believe they come back after sunlight or something along
All
those
right, we're
lines.
good for that. We're just trying to get situated here. We don't need to come inside if you just want to give us a little...
Oh, well, since you're
Yes.
here, I may as well read your fortions. Come on.
Oh, great.
come on.
Ooh, a fortune teller.
That
This should-
can't possibly go wrong. That'll be great.
This should be fun.
Sure.
So I'll go in.
Yes, yes, have a seat, have a seat. Would you like some tea?
Yeah, that's definitely not a trick.
No, thank you.
Oh, sorry, you got the faceplate on. I can't drink tea. Oh, sorry. Thank you, though. Tea?
Oh, I couldn't have another drink.
Right.
That's right.
Yes, I imagine the acid was quite filling.
Heartburn, you know
Do
what it's
something
like.
about those burns.
Yeah, no, thank you.
Here,
madam.
let me give you
no
another
tea
shot.
for me. It's a trap.
Oh, by the way, kids, if you want actually some coffee, I've got some an ever-pouring decanter here that actually is not a trap. So, here, I'm just saying.
Why is this so
Huh.
delicious?
You're ruining
Yeah.
my cover. I'm not thirsty.
Oh, of course. Oh, sorry. Sorry about that.
You said you would read fortunes.
Yes.
Can you tell time?
It's 3:40.
Joke's on her. It's
Is your
6:30.
is your HR department available?
Oh, yeah. Well, it's going to take a while to get to them,
I
but
would like to file a complaint.
All right. While you're figuring this out, I'm just gonna, I was using the synthetic skin before. In this case, I'm actually been working on a, sort of anti-caustic mist sort of thing I've been checking out. So I'm gonna give her another healing.
Uncaustic mist?
Yeah. The caustic mist is
You
the brand name.
seem utterly astonished.
I am.
Okay.
I have fox-like reflexes.
Yes, you do.
Oh.
Could have
And you
gave her
didn't
another roll.
remind me.
Why would I remind you?
I will give you 14 more hit points though.
Thank you. Temp?
14.
Eke will go up and he'll sit down on the table.
Hey, while you're doing that, hold on a moment.
Yes.
Why don't you
He
take
has sat down
18
on
hit points?
furniture. That's
You
wise.
do know this whole thing is a mimic, right? This whole cottage is a goddamn mimic.
What are the odds?
We'll find out.
Table? Yes, well.
Come on, you guys can be nice.
It could be a friendly mimic. It
Yeah.
just wants you to stay.
It's like my pet monster,
All right.
my pet mimic.
The poor man is moving from a horde mimic to a table mimic.
I'm just guessing.
We get hands up for nice mimic.
He's on a salad.
Yeah. Okay, we got nice. He's a vegetarian.
How do we do a nice mimic?
Get off my face, please.
That's pretty nice.
Eke will just.
When was the last time you had a shower?
Never.
As I'm getting off, I'll just slide.
He's not eating him.
As your what?
Getting off the mimic. Not,
Oh, okay.
Time for the
I
one
just-
cheek sneak.
what the one cheek.
all your fur in me now.
I will sit beside. Apologies, table. And I'll look at the chair and go, a friend of yours?
That's my wife.
He'll look up at the horned satyr and say, are there any places here we are allowed to sit.
Oh, you wish to sit down?
Please.
Why didn't you say so? Here. She hands you a little tiny chair. Just add water.
It's a trap.
Try some coffee.
Pours a little coffee on it.
Coffee.
He pours
Yeah.
a little coffee on it.
Oh, okay. You have a very big chair.
He'll climb up.
It's vibrating slightly.
Ooh. He'll sit down.
It's good stuff.
Oh
Stumptown.
my God. He sat down on the vibrating chair.
No, it can't just be oops all mimics all night, okay?
Or can it? TM.
Listen, I love mimics as much as anybody.
So,
Also, we wouldn't want to harm any more of them tonight.
Exactly.
Okay. I gotta ask you.
Yes.
Mimic furniture, right? Mimics can look like anything. Can you change that style? Could you give me something more in a sort of late Thrainish, like armchair?
Uh,
I'll ask the chair. Can you do a little more of a sort of Undarian pine?
well, I suppose.
I mean, I'm just saying, floor demos. This idea has legs, if it wants to have legs and doesn't absorb them.
You see, you see, no. We can't change the furniture. It's all very specific. I'm going for an aesthetic of old witch in a cabin.
I'm not trying to pull you out. I'm just saying when I get back, I am talking to Droam because, mimic furniture models. This is fantastic.
Well, yes, you see, when I bought the place, they said it was very nice because it has a very good security system.
Yeah.
What they don't tell you is the outrageous prices in feeding it.
And apparently that it's gonna marry you.
Well,
That part's okay. All right. Anyhow,
we have a fortune?
good point.
oh, yes. You wish to have your fortune read then,
Go
yes?
right ahead,
No,
kid.
we need the fortune of those that are leaving.
I guess that's true. My
yes,
God, that
yes.
he put us on the chopping block, but on the other hand, we are trying to get home. So
Well,
sure.
I was having so much fun.
How do we get home?
Watching the floor show.
Oh,
Wonderful
yeah,
fortune teller.
Yes. Let me,
She looks a little horny.
here's my ethically sourced teeth.
Yes.
Don't ask where they came from. It's fine. It's all good. And, 1, 2, 3. Ooh, I see that you are not of this world.
Yeah, you're in an outer plane that's
You're a
pretty. most
long
people
way
aren't.
from home.
Yep.
You
Again,
seek
real-
a way to find a source of travel to return from whence you came.
Yep, that's literally what we just told you.
Yep.
Yes.
So far, not really selling the.
Yes.
Vibrating.
Ooh. Well, I believe what you're looking for, if you were to travel 6 paces to the east and then go directly up, you'll find yourself out of here.
Iki, you should try this,
All
sister.
right.
It's fun.
I'll climb
That's
up.
yeah. That's thank you there, fortune cookie. That's real useful stuff.
Yes. You're leaving now.
Yeah.
Good.
Yeah. All right.
What's
6 paces that way.
happening? I wasn't.
We're just
paying
sitting on the chair. You
attention.
just see us sitting on the chair. Like,
Having fun.
Yes.
Well, we're going out and up.
Yeah. Oh, we are.
I mean, if
we have a mission to help you.
All right, let's go.
Oh, okay.
Now I got the sky staff, but you can do that flying thing, right?
I could do the flying thing. Yes.
So I mean, just on the off chance that she wasn't just being rude and asking us to leave, we might as well go up. I mean, what can it hurt? So he reaches into his small pouch on the side and pulls out.
You're just going to leave my door destroyed then?
Yeah, you said 6 paces that way and straight up. You didn't say 6 paces that way, fix my door. And
Fine.
that. Like I said, talk to my people. They'll get you hooked up. File a report.
Very well. I shall have to grow a new one.
Yeah.
Is that what we're
If
calling
you
it these days?
if you read my fortune, well, I will fix your
I
door.
always read fortunes. Well,
I will fix your door.
very good. She reaches down into her cupboard, reaches around and pulls out a well. Gaze into the well.
It's a trap.
Ooh, well.
Yeah, we get it. We saw that coming.
I walked right into it.
She's not a well woman.
It would appear. That's quite the criminal record. Oh my lord.
Well, how about that?
This little pink fox gets more interesting by the moment.
I don't know what you're talking about. I've been out saving the world.
Oh, and see the will you shall. Mostly from behind bars, it would seem. You should talk to the old wizard about his ring. That might be helpful.
Yes.
I shall.
Yeah.
My fortune, please. That's my past.
Yes. Let's see. Yes. You will be assisting aliens to return from whence they came.
You got anything else?
That'll be 20 gold pieces. Thank you, everyone. It's Horn Lady the Magnificent.
Stay away from insectoids.
I find that.
Offensive.
No, it is good.
Oh.
Avoid the insects. I once knew an insect. His name was the Hivehawk.
Oh, yeah. Met that guy. Not so bad.
You've met the Hivehawk.
A little creepy, literally, like just creeping
he is very
everywhere.
creepy.
I mean, that's just, I don't judge, but
You have the strangest friends.
Yes, I know. We should go.
Anything else?
Should there be?
all right.
I will lesser reversal her door.
Thank you. Yeah, see, that wasn't so hard. Little courtesy.
We leave, and as we leave, I turn back and say, "Be well," and then walk away.
Into the door because she
No,
fixed it.
away from the door.
Oh, wait.
Why would he want me to turn into a well?
You want to disintegrate the door?
No.
I mean, just on a matter
Well,
of
no.
principle.
No. The proper style thing is to wait until the other Yes Hound comes back, and then disintegrate the Yes Hound the doors together.
Got it. Yeah, good thinking.
It
I
will
like it.
give her, it'll keep her busy for another
All right.
day. So.
So she said 6 paces and then up.
Yeah. And she might just be kidding, but you want to try it?
Sure,
All right. So I've got the sky staff,
I remember those classes.
which I'm going to use this time instead of sitting on it. I'm trying a new thing where I use it more like a Segway or a pogo stick, you know, and just sort of go straight up, holding onto one end.
You're just gonna bounce up?
Yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
once you're in the air, you know, it keeps going. But I'm just saying
yeah.
the broomstick style, sitting on it, very.
So it's archaic.
Yeah, it's so 9th century.
Yes.
Anyhow.
And
So yeah, let's go.
well, wait a moment. Do you wish to come with us?
I believe.
Yes! We are helping you to see how
Did you
great
not
help
hear her
we've
fortune?
been so far.
Yes. I do wish to come with us right now.
I mean, we don't know what's going to happen. There could be a door up there. Of course, they
Yeah.
wish to come with us. You're coming, right,
Okay.
Star Fox?
Well, although it may seem like we are not helping you, in time I believe that we shall.
So far, you have been incredibly helpful.
Yes.
That healing stuff.
Yeah.
I got to say,
Yeah.
I've never tested that before,
Yeah.
and it seems like it's working. So, if you have any side effects, let me know.
Yeah.
Haven't you all sodded off yet?
All right, you ready? Flying?
Well, no. Actually, I'm going to use my psionic invisible mage hand, and I'm just trying to wait for one of these 2 gentle people to step onto it, so I can. Okay. Yes. Here we go. Up.
It's Elminster's
Look at me, I'm flying!
psychic hand of
Goosing.
goosing. Yeah, all
I
right.
know. But no, you're standing on it, milady.
I think he meant it literally flies like a goose.
Yes,
I'm sure
it.
that's exactly what he meant.
Up you go and gone.
Oh,
She's gone?
okay.
Yep.
Okay.
I'm going up.
Upsy pupsy.
Gone?
Gone.
It's all right. I'll do it to myself.
Oh
now.
yeah, I'm taking my own one. So I got my own way up there.
So we all go through the portal.
Bounce. Yes.
So we all go through the portal, and by the time
this
we
is
get
a
through,
portal?
you've already sat on a new mimic, is what I understand.
Yes. We must now choose a new plane. Yes, we have done the Feywild, so we have Shadowfell. Oh,
You're
no.
from Shadowfell, right?
Interesting, isn't it?
No, Shadowdale.
Oh, okay.
Shadowfell,
Different thing.
Shadowdale.
No. Shadowfell was for the dirty weekends. Shadowdale.
Oh, wow. What happens in the Shadowfell usually
Plane
grants
of
a couple
air.
levels.
Okay, we got some air people. The plane of earth. Man, that's my favorite plane. The plane of fire.
I'm just saying, sod off.
Yes, plane of fire. Yes, the most lethal. And the plane of water. I mean, that's okay. Plane of fire it is.
Thanks. Thanks to all of you. Real sweet.
Oh, no.
All right. Once again, there is a flash of color. You see orange everywhere. Until finally you find yourself standing upon molten rock, fire and magma everywhere.
You say standing. I got a sky
Well,
staff,
okay,
so
you're-
I'm
you're
certainly not
mildly
standing on that molten rock.
levitating.
There you go.
I'm sitting on my hand.
Okay, which means the foxes are sitting on the molten rock,
Yes,
right?
the foxes is
We're
the.
sitting on the molten rock.
You were sitting on molten rock, yes.
I
I'm-
appreciate
Molten, not rock.
But I'm
Mol-
casting absorb elements.
Okay. Fire, I assume.
I'm gonna be hot.
Yeah, I'm going to give you, I don't know, let's say 6 seconds to figure out how not to fall onto molten rock.
6
All right.
seconds.
I would just like to call out, I really appreciate these two foxes are came all this way to help us get home, and so far have been bitten by dogs, bitten by a door, blinded by acid, and are now getting dropped on the molten rock. So just saying, this is filling me with confidence. I am glad that we have some guides here.
we
We're
are
about-
experts in saving the
You
world.
very much
We're
are.
about to go on
I
molten,
see
molten
that.
rock or
Yes.
molten lava?
Among other
What's
things,
the
you
difference?
survived all this.
Well, molten rock is not moving and flowing, right?
It's around, well, you both, technically, is what you're currently falling towards.
I could pull from tomorrow, but I don't know.
No. I already wasted that.
I can.
I will
I know,
snake out my hand and grab whichever fox is lowest,
It's
closest
not molten.
to the molten.
I imagine that'd be Iki since she went up first, right?
Okay, so I grab her and toss her up into the air, and then grab.
So we're buying time, is what we're saying.
Elminster juggles the foxes in the
All
air.
right.
With an invisible hand.
You created this.
While he's juggling to buy some time, I'll do an unseen serve. Actually, not an
Brilliant.
unseen serve, floating disc. I'm making a floating disc.
Hey, I like that.
So,
yeah.
hey, toss him on the disc, will you?
Oh, sure, thank you.
Oh, attention.
My disc
so-
requires a ritual, so I didn't
Oh,
want
no
to
worries,
make
no
them wait
worries.
first.
So, basically takes like one of his little things and sort of throws it out, and a disc of energy evolves around it. Clunk, clunk, clunk.
You artificers are very useful.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I wish we had more of you in our world. Unfortunately, there
Oh,
are high
no, you
mages
don't.
that live. Unfortunately, there are high mages that live on coasts that will prevent such things.
That is unfortunately true, yes.
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
And we'd love to stay, but we need to get home.
Okay, so we need.
Before you is a palace of brass.
Now, I
Oh.
gotta say, that's some workmanship there.
There
Yeah,
are
come on.
doors leading out towards you, but tied up on the outside is what appears to be a horse as black as midnight with a mane of pure fire.
I have seen one of these before. This is what we call a poetic horse.
You also do find that things are still somewhat gray, somewhat misty, as if you're kind of in the border between the fire plane and the ethereal plane. But the horse seems almost kind of in both. It's sort of in this dual form.
Icky. I think this is your thing. You make friends with the animals and they bite you.
Oh yeah, okay. Hello, pony. I will stay far away from it though.
Okay.
I mean, you're on the flown disc, so you kind of got to tell me where you want to go. So
I will float by.
Wait, the closer she gets, the closer I get.
It's true.
that is true.
But
Have you met her?
I will climb behind and just kind of hang off the disc, which is invisible, right?
Okay,
No, I think you can see it.
Okay.
I've done the measurements, and there is definitely room on this disc for both you and Rose.
Up I go.
Well, first I want to see if it seems at all. I mean, it doesn't look friendly, correct? So,
I don't know. It's a horse made of fire.
I mean,
It's
that's
a
kinda
nightmare.
Yeah, it is.
It's a friendly nightmare.
What is a nightmare?
It is currently chained up to the to a post out the front.
These poor animals.
It looks the fire mane does appear to be a little wispier than it might otherwise be. The body looks a little emaciated, like it hasn't had a good run in quite some time.
I will toss it some beef jerky from afar. It looks hungry.
Well, actually, now you mention that, just go for the beef jerky.
I mean, I would assume it does. I don't know if horses eat that.
So question.
but
They're
I think
hungry
I think
enough
it
to do.
would.
I'm just gonna try this. I'm just curious.
Okay.
I can cast flame bolt. And
Okay.
I just kind of want to just sort of try and charge up like a little, and just sort of see like, horsey wants some fire. You know, like I don't know, maybe it eats fire.
And you see the flames of the mane surge back up, kind of roaring back to life as it.
And it might just kill us now. I mean, I'm just saying, but I just hate. I love a puzzle. You know.
Mm-hmm. Which way is north?
I don't think the plane of fire has a north. It's kind of just infinite fire. So that way.
Infinite? It's that way. Oh, thank you. Is that into the palace or?
It's a sure.
Thank you. Just checking.
Because this is a slightly different character sheet than I normally play with,
Yes.
And I don't know how it works. Enemy of my enemy.
So yes, this horse seems to be much more friendly towards you.
Also, it's chained up, so maybe if we make friends with it, it's the end. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. How does it work though? I guess I could read.
It's a background feature, so it would allow you to essentially do what you're trying to do.
Oh, good. Hi, horsey.
Tongues lets me speak the language but not understand it.
Correct.
And I can concentrate on 2 spells, so I can't comprehend languages and tongues at the same time.
Ah.
But you could comprehend languages.
I can comprehend languages. It's a ritual for me. But I can also speak telepathically to any creature that I share a language with.
Go ahead. Oh, share a language with.
Yes.
I mean, just saying tongues is cute, but you know, telepathy is what we're doing here.
I have a feeling
So if-
Elminster knows like every language.
Yeah,
So
you know
if
what?
this is a nightmare, it speaks in Mabrahoring, the language of hell.
There you go.
Hello, horsey. I say in Mabrahoring.
Hello, governor.
How's it hanging? Slightly to the left, as usual? Yeah.
Yeah.
Why are you chained up out here?
The Afreet that owns this place here, he likes to have me as a pet, you see.
Oh, so he's at home.
Oh, no, he's currently out.
Oh.
I'm supposed to be here in case he ever wants to go for a ride. He hasn't wanted to do that in a while. You know, he doesn't actually need to ride.
So, would you like to be freed?
That would be very nice.
Right. Quid pro quo time. If we
Yes.
free you, do you know of any gate to another plane that is around here?
The Afreeti Master does have an artifact in his vault which is said to open gates.
Ah, handy.
Yes.
Ah, the hammer of plot strikes again.
It is guarded by several salamanders.
It's guarded by salamanders?
Yes, nasty things.
Yes, but I'm absorbing the elements, you see, so they'll just make me stronger. Right. Are they in there?
Oh, yes.
Is the vault in there?
Oh, yes.
Right. Well, it's time for you to fly free.
Huzzah!
What was all that there?
I'm-
Stingy beard?
So we just saw him going.
Well, yeah, I mean, he's just doing this.
Oh, yeah.
So
Wait, yeah.
I'm untying Horsey here, who I'm sure he has a more dignified name, but you know.
Sure. Here, have another ball of fire.
Names are power. Yeah. And we have somewhere in the palace is a vault guarded by salamanders, the fire
well.
sort, not the little newt sort.
Plot 252?
And we
Okay.
need to find an artifact that's in the vault.
No,
that
yeah,
will
yeah.
ping- yeah. And so we don't know which one it is, so we'll just have to take everything.
Right, it's a Tuesday. That's what you're saying.
Yes.
Got it.
Very good logic.
I'm enjoying this little stroll.
Are we
As
talking...
you free the nightmare, it will request that if you wish to gain a more physical presence on this plane to be able to actually take and interact with it, it will shunt you from ethereal to material.
Oh, sure.
Oh, yes, please.
Sounds good. Yeah.
Okay.
All right. Yeah.
There you go. Everything's much hotter and more vibrant in color.
All right, but you endured elements, these guys, right? Or is it just you?
No, I'm absorbing elements for me.
Okay.
It's a one
One-person job.
unfortunate
All
benefactor.
right, well, you've
spell.
still got the disc.
Now, I do have a question for the audience at this point. How hot is it?
Oh, come on.
As
Let's-
warm as Guelph right now. Requires drinks.
This is the day when the plane of fire froze over.
Ooh.
Ah,
Yeah, so on a scale of the sun
To Guelph.
to Guelph, where are we here? Let's say it's the fourth layer of hell.
it's doorstep of Guelph.
69 Celsius. 50 degrees Celsius.
I mean, the interesting thing is the fourth layer of hell is actually if I recall correctly, the hell of tepid moisture.
Mm-hmm.
It's not really that bad. It's just kind of damp,
Yes.
sticky. Yeah.
Burning Man. Yeah,
Because one of us is on fire.
Yes.
Is what you're saying.
yes.
Okay.
Understood. In that case, Merrix,
Yeah.
this is armor you're wearing.
Yeah.
Is it like an environmental suit? Is it like?
It's kind of environmental. I have, in fact, resistance to fire.
Oh, very good.
I like
Do the foxes have resistance to fire?
Why are we the punching bags?
I mean, I appreciate that the locals are taking all the hits while the guests,
taking
Yeah.
taking all the heat for
I
you.
took damage.
I appreciate it. You did? What'd you do that for?
I wanted the full tourist experience.
You're right. I took damage
Oh,
too.
you're
I forgot
getting it.
about that. Physician, heal yourself. I'm
Yes.
dealing
Would
with.
either of you happen to have absorb elements?
No, but I would like to pull from tomorrow.
Okay.
Oh, excellent.
So I'm going
You do
to
that a lot.
Yeah.
have Eke stand on the
All right,
on the
I'm
edge of the
healing.
disc, and
You
I
want some
will
healing?
Yeah, love something.
swirl the cog of time, reach down, and pull up a half
20
carved
points. More than
barrel,
you need, I think.
Thank you. Yes.
like a half sliced barrel full of ice from Saiyan. And then Iki and I will jump into the ice and sit in the barrel of ice.
Very quickly melting ice, but yeah.
Steam fog.
Steam fog.
Get the sauce, somebody.
This will only last for a while. We need to move.
I appreciate the whole Roger Rabbit of just the whole.
As soon as the ice melts all the way down, Iki will lesser reverse
Hey!
and make it ice again.
Okay, I think that'll buy you a fair bit
very
of time.
good.
Yes, yes.
That'll save me doing the hurling you into the sky.
So we'll do that for a while as we go forward.
Okay.
And let them lead.
There are two brass doors directly in front of you that are glowing red hot.
Well, this is where I think if we want to do this together, your telekinesis, my grabber upper.
I've still got the mage hand.
Well, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
you
yeah,
know.
okay.
All right, you get one
Yeah,
door, I'll get the
okay.
other.
Oh yeah, I mean it opens just fine.
Yeah. I mean, guy wants people to come in. I'm just saying, why touch the handle like a
Now,
fox? Maybe when
as
you
specified-
could just use the.
this is
telekinesis.
the front
Yeah.
door to an Ifrit's palace, which they have just opened. Trap.
I mean, let's just be real here for just a moment, folks.
Yes.
Yeah, come on.
Does everybody in the plains have a lethal front door? I mean, does no one want to actually have a guest over sometime?
The foxes.
I don't believe so. So I believe that Elminster and Merrix are currently in front of the door.
Oh,
'cause
I
they're
think
the ones-
I think obviously he's correct because Elminster and I were using telekinesis.
Yes.
We were, so I think clearly we're standing to either side, and then there's.
Yes.
I mean, as far as I can tell, this isn't a Warner Brothers Acme cartoon. So
Yeah, okay, fair
I
enough.
assume it's going to immediately hit Wile E. Coyote over there.
That's kind of what this game's turning into.
Can I just choose one?
I know you do. It's Elisa I'm worried about. She's not going to sign your Tasha's Cauldrons.
No, I think she
Yes,
will.
I will.
Just F
Yes,
you.
I will.
Yes, she will.
Very violently. So hands up for if there is a trap. Out of curiosity.
How would the Efreet get out?
And
He
hands
likes a
up
fireball.
if there's
the
no
fireball
trap.
is just a light.
Oh,
a
it's
light
that sort of trap. Okay.
You know, a fireball coming down.
Okay,
the
so I'm
chapel
looking at a
just missed her.
50-50. So we'll say the right door was trapped, the left door was not.
Oh.
Okay.
I opened the right door.
Do we?
You
It's
opened
the
the right
correct
door.
one.
Which was the correct one. 'Cause, well, you can't go wrong if you go right.
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
So the right door was the trap. The left door was not.
Sure.
I was on the right.
You were
She
on the
was
right.
left.
Okay.
So I'll take the trap.
Yes.
Okay.
You're a no.
Eke will just sit there knowing that it's coming. He just goes.
No, of course.
You're
This
a,
again.
you're a noble person. It was, yes. You were a noble
Oh,
individual.
we got some.
No.
Oh, okay. That's right. I thought you were
Maybe.
here.
We'll see what happens.
Well, I think the only thing that makes sense is just fire.
Yeah.
Just so much.
Just coming at me.
So much
I'm gonna
fire.
suspend.
It's not a trap.
The
It's
fire's
just-
coming into my face. I'll be like, fellows, is there a possibility that this could stop happening to me?
Oh, wait. Hang on. I'm a fortune teller. I've just got this going. No, it's just gonna get worse. It's just bad. Oh, you don't want to see this, kid.
But I can take care of this one for you. I'll just step in front of him and absorb.
Absorb the fire.
Oh, thank you, Elminster. I'll break suspend.
Oh,
Okay.
don't worry, we'll discuss terms later.
I'm saying disintegrate, and he's picking up some bit. I am a bad influence on this guy.
Yeah.
Beyond the open doors is what appears to be a forge. Smoke and.
All right, step aside. Daddy's home. What do we got?
Lots of smoke and fire and orange, scaly, serpentine beings currently hammering away who seem, as the door opens, they all immediately seem to prostrate themselves on the ground, bowing before who they would assume
Yeah.
is their lord.
Oh yeah, I'm gonna step in. I'm gonna be like, okay, let's see your work. Let me take a look around here. I can do a persuasion check.
This sounds more like a deception to me.
Well, okay. Natural 20. A guy knows his way around a forge, is what I'm saying.
Master, you seem different today.
Excuse me, I'm an all-powerful elemental being of fire. Shape changing is actually part of the
of
package.
course,
Now shut up and get back to work, or I'm docking
Of
your
course,
pay.
sir, yes.
Wait a minute. This is where you tell them there's something wrong with the door to the secret vault. We need them
That's
to
right.
go and check it.
I'm just saying, work harder, not smarter. And
yes, of
we're just gonna
course.
check out the vault. You guys keep doing what you're doing.
Of course.
Yep. Faster.
Yes,
All right, we'll just be moving along.
No.
I'm just
Who's
putting
the
these
best on locks
boxes.
and hinges?
Oh, I got locks and hinges.
No. Which one of these is best on locks and hinges? These little fodder beings.
Oh, I'm just saying. I mean, you want to bring one of these guys?
Yeah. So when the trap
That's a
On
good
the
point. It's a
door.
shame to waste another fox.
sprung, yes, there's only two. We might run out.
All right, number 5 over there. Come with us.
I have been given a name.
Yes.
I shall serve you to the ends of time, master.
Of course you will. That's the contract. Let's go.
At once, master, of course. I must say your new form is rather beautiful.
Oh, I know it.
No, you can take a moment.
But,
here.
you know, we'll give him a raise. Nice. I appreciate a little toadying.
You hear that, a raise? I'm going to start getting paid.
Yes, you are. All right.
You wish for me to open the vault?
Yeah, let's go.
I will stand away from the door.
That vault?
That's the one.
That's the one?
I will also stand away from the door.
You're about to say the vault with a trap on it.
The vault with all the traps on it?
Yeah, that's the one. Think of it as a test. I just want to see if you really got what it takes, kid.
It's all right to disable all of the traps first.
I mean, because I want to see if you can do it. This is one of these drills. Like you're on a clock here.
Okay,
Let's see how fast you can get it open.
He slithers over to the door and just starts tracing the runes.
Yep, good job.
Yeah, I was actually going to say.
I'm listening to his thoughts.
Yes.
Halfway through and then gets disintegrated.
His thoughts are about as joyous as one under the servitude of an Ifrit could be at the moment. In fact, however, you do understand that while he is intrigued by the Master's new form, he does not, in fact, believe it is beautiful. In fact, he finds it quite repugnant.
Nonetheless, I mean,
specifically the hat.
kind of knew that.
Everyone's a critic.
Specifically.
Of course, he would never say this.
No, he would never.
No, because I would have to
And
disintegrate.
I
Yes.
would never betray this to my friend.
Of course.
But I'm reading those thoughts in case he gets any somewhat more
Yes.
violent.
How do we feel about this poor salamander? Is he too nervous to disarm all the traps, or does he forget, or what are we thinking? He's joined the party, has he?
Oh,
okay.
sure. Number 5.
He is a full party pack.
Okay. He forgets one.
Aimed at the fox.
The one trap he forgets to disarm is the anti-fox trap.
I have to say, if you live in this universe, that's a no-brainer. You gotta have an anti-box trap.
Well, all right then.
Oh, whoops! That was supposed to be. That way. Uh-oh.
Here comes another one.
What happens this time? I'll stand.
Well.
I'll just slightly stand in front of Iki.
I think this Ifrit is smart. He doesn't have a mind for this sort of thing. He has people who do this for him, and people. What kind of trap is it? Because we could do fire again, but I feel like this is a little repetitive.
See,
Poison dart. Oh, that's nice. Oh yes. Okay. An anvil falls from the sky. I would like the foxes to make. It's an anti-fox anvil. And I would like you to make dexterity saving throws.
But we will remember.
Oh, come on. We don't need to be that mean.
I apologize, by the way, Lisa. I thought we were playing.
Oh, yeah.
tonight. We
Obviously, the
appear to be
anvil is
playing
glowing red hot.
No, this is good. This is good. So it's coming down. We have to make a dexterity save.
Yes.
Tune. Do you have Fox like Racer?
22.
So just before it hits,
I do have Fox like refreshes.
and because it's cinematic, I'll suspend again.
23.
And I'll just look over at Elminster and be like, and Merrick would be like, really?
You got this one on your own?
He looks over to the proverbial audience. Really? And my dex save is 14.
I mean, I appreciate it because let's face it, Wile E. Coyote does use suspend all the time.
He does.
That is the standing over the chasm being like, and then
Yeah, that's exactly
what we're dealing with.
And I use the mage hand to just sort of biff, biff all the way down to make it go.
Oh, yeah. The anvil is falling midair, and you just
Yeah. And it lands.
sails over, lands harmlessly into the floor.
Thank you, Elminster.
You're doing a great job.
We are racking up
Thanks
quite
for the
the debt
guidance.
to you.
That's all right. That's all right. As long as there's a way home at the end of this.
Oh, is that what we're doing?
My
Life.
deepest apologies, Master.
That's
I'm
all
so sorry. Please do not put me in the ice bucket.
I'm afraid there might be an ice bucket jump.
Oh,
if you
no.
don't get moving. Yeah,
But-
move along.
Okay,
Keep going.
turns aside.
There's
looks
still
into
time for you to turn it around.
into the vault and goes, this away.
Yes, into the vault we go.
And it kind of reaches up and
And I use the mage hand to move move the anvil over to prop the door open.
Oh, curse you.
Remove curse! No.
Yes, the door to the vault opens. It's a rather lovely, opulent space. Various exquisite things that are things that cannot be damaged by fire. So mostly metal, rocks, gems, things like that. And at the far end is an altar with what I can only describe as an esoteric artifact in sort of an opalescent design. Covered in runes of varying states of color and description.
Mr. Artificer, I believe you call this a MacGuffin.
Yeah, no, totally. Do you want to do the runes? You want me to do the runes?
No, this is your turn.
I did the fireball on the mimic.
This is your turn.
All right, fair enough.
Because if this is the planar thing, let's use it.
Oh, yeah. No, I love a good planar gate. All right, you want an investigation or arcana check?
Depends what you're trying to figure out.
So, first off, this is, we've done this rodeo before. The first step is detect magic. Let's just be smart.
Yeah, there's a lot of magic in this room.
Okay. The next step is, step number 2, again, you've seen my YouTube videos, is identify.
Yes, this is an opal of gate.
Okay.
Yes.
Pretty straightforward.
It would appear, however, that where the gate leads to is entirely dependent upon the whims of an unknown source of entities.
All right. Do you want to do some comprehend languages on the runes? I know you like that comprehending runes type of thing. Like that's.
Yes.
You wish
that's
to read
jam.
the runes.
Yes, I wish to read the runes.
There's two main phrases upon it.
Yeah.
Press here for gate, and press here for disintegration.
Oh, good choice.
And what are they referring to?
Runes. Specifically to...
Oh, you press
You got
on the
two
rune.
buttons.
Yes.
But the question is it a lie or not? Anyhow, so
Well, we have
Foxtrot.
a small lizard-like creature here.
we do.
Hello, master.
Number 5,
how may I redeem
gotta
myself
say-
in your eyes?
you have been doing such a great job.
You lie, but it is...
I'm just saying, I'm impressed by your slavish toadiness, and I know you don't like the face, but you said you did, and that's what matters. So could you press that button on the right? I'm asking him to press the one that says gate.
Okay, I just wanted to verify that.
I know. He's been doing okay. I'm gonna offer him a job in a moment, but let's see if this guy get the gate and he's still alive for me to offer him a job.
Oh, okay.
Did you want to...
Oh, well, he's pushing a button, but I want to do something after.
Okay. The salamander slithers up, presses its claw onto the rune, and a vortex opens up, leading somewhere.
You had a thing?
Is that what it was supposed to do?
Yeah, totally supposed to do. You're doing great. What you got?
Iki digs deep. Uh-oh. Iki digs deep down into her anything she can possibly tap into at this point. Feeling so guilty for wasting her power on some beef jerky that didn't even work. And pleads with the powers that be for an extra chance to pull a very innocuous object that won't even matter, but will be really cool for flavor from tomorrow.
Powers that be? Powers that be are merciful this evening.
Oh, good. What's that other thing? You see Iki spin her hands around. Pink, glittery, swirling magic appears in front of her, and she puts a hand in and pulls out a cell phone.
Aww. Okay, now I'm interested.
May I please see that business card again?
Which card are we talking about?
Oh my god. Now I know what you're trying to tell me.
Boop, 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 boop.
Is it a spell phone or a cell phone?
Spell phone.
Yeah, of course
TM.
it is. No, I already put that on the internet the other day.
Yes, hello. human resources?
Yes.
I'm contacting other plane, by the way.
Yeah, I assumed, yeah.
I'm in a situation here and I need your help. Can you just put me directly through to the highest level manager I can talk to? Because I don't have a whole lot of time.
Oh crap! Does my spell phone go off? Because I hate when these guys bother me with this stuff. Really, I don't have time for this.
I think the important question is, what is Merrix's ringtone?
Oh, Merrix's ringtone. That is a good question. Anyone have an idea?
Iron Mask.
I think you got it.
Apparently, Merrix also has service.
Oh, okay. Well, I gotta start drinking.
Drink faster.
Oh.
Yeah, exactly.
Thank you.
Thank you, Jordan.
Yeah, a complaint. You're calling me now.
There's a very angry sounding lady on the phone for you, sir.
Yeah, it's not the greatest time. Okay, put her on.
No!
I didn't know.
You got the Baron.
Put me back through the walls. It's happening again. Yes, I was wondering if you knew. I'm standing in front of a portal, you see.
No,
And it's just on and on that he's talking.
Yeah.
Oh,
Oh,
hello?
oh, hi.
wait.
Oh, it's you.
Oh, no.
That's a pretty good idea.
No, don't hang up. This is just like regular customer service. Redial?
You have been gifted inspiration by the audience.
Can I use it for a redial?
Yes, you may.
Ring, ring.
Yeah.
Oh, hello, it's me again. I was so rudely cut off. Can I have the second highest level manager you can put me through to, please?
Let me patch you through.
I just want to make it clear. I know this is not your fault. I'm not angry. This is a very frustrating situation. I know you're doing a great job.
Well, thank you. You know, no one stops to really understand that. It's nice to once in a while be given someone who appreciates the work that we have to put in answering these phone calls over and over and over. Anyway, I'm sure you have better things to do than listen to me spiel on about the
that's all right,
misery that is my
darling.
existence. Do you know we don't even get dental here?
Oh, really? Well, I can probably talk to somebody about that, but later, can you...
Would you? That would be lovely.
Could you put me through possibly to the, portal authority? Sure.
Portal authority? Oh, yes.
All right. Question for you all, though, that I would want to know is, what's the hold music for House Cannon?
Oh. The girl that had Benema.
Oh, yeah, that's not a bad
That's a
idea.
pretty good one. And how long does that go for?
Ooh, you're on hold for at least.
Okay.
Can I use
So-
my power veil of time?
Yes.
Oh, nice.
Yes.
I would like to pass 1 hour and 1 minute,
Very good.
which in real life would be so good when calling Rogers.
Yes, you are indeed on hold for about 45 minutes, which is like this. And they do eventually answer. John speaking.
Hi, John. I hope you're having a great day. I have a quick question. I'm standing in front of a portal. I have somebody very important to you who needs to get through, but we need to make sure that he gets back to your office. What is the step I need to take to do that?
Well, you're being very vague.
Not really. Wait, hold on. Let me put you on with him. Just do this. I can't. You're employees.
Is this John?
Sir.
John, yeah, good. How's it hanging?
Well, you know, the wife, we just
Yeah, I know.
had the baby, and she's quite healthy, yes.
Good, yeah.
The only slight malformation of the left ear, as you had suggested.
John, if I'd wanted to talk for an hour, I would have called the first guy.
Right, yes, sorry. What can I do for you, sir?
All right. She's got a point. We're dealing with a apparently random planar. You know, it's what I would call a type 1C3.
Oh, 1C3.
Planar, you know,
a bunch of pages
random
being filled.
diffusion controlled by a mysterious entity.
Okay.
Anything you could help us to figure out how to focus that to a particular plane, or perhaps determine the identity in charge of the.
Yeah. You need to know where it goes.
Right. Yeah.
Yes. I think we can figure that out. Yes.
I mean, basically, the question we're trying to figure out is, if I, say, created a sort of tuning fork, could we try and start steering this in a particular direction?
Oh,
or do we
possibly.
just randomly stumble through area after area at the whim of, I don't know, a random audience? Yeah?
Just ask him for them to get right back to it.
Yeah, I mean, well, that's the point. Like, we're looking for a dimensional frequency for Eberron, if I then were to...
Oh, well, why didn't you just say so
Don't
in the
forget
first
about,
place?
And where are you from again? Shadowfell?
Toril.
Oh, Toril. Yeah, Toril.
Oh, we'd like to get home. Imaria.
Oh,
where are
and
you from?
Amaria too.
And Amaria. Is Amaria
it's a-
still
Not to get
there?
greedy.
Toril,
We saved Amaria, right? It is still in one piece?
Yes, it's just.
Okay, good. Yeah.
Spoiler alert.
Oh, spoiler. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I
mean, we're still here.
Let's see. Oerth, Kryn, Abir. No, not Abir. Toril. Yes. Toril. We've got Toril.
Yeah.
Where in Toril?
Doesn't matter.
Shadowtail.
Shadowdale.
No place like home.
Well, there's a lot of wards around Shadowdale, my word. Well, we can do our best.
All right.
You can set me down in Tilverton Empty Lands there. It's a short walk to an old decaying wizard.
And, Amaria. Seems like those pathways have been closed off for, about 1,000 years, but,
Well, let me tell you, I've got some info on the Veil. I can give you some Veil frequencies. Like, it's just back up, and there's probably still a couple cracks in there you could sneak through.
Then
There's
perfect.
the sea over the stone of Reckon, you know.
Hold on one moment, sir. Let me just crunch some numbers.
All right, I appreciate it.
All right. Here's what I figured. They got to go through
At least one more.
At least one more plane in order to get home.
I mean, I just gotta say, I wouldn't put it past John to send us to the Shadowfell trying to get us to Shadowdale. I mean, it really is a pretty easy mistake to make. You know.
Yeah. All right, hands up for Shadowfell. That's pretty good. Plane of air, just for good measure. We gotta check this. Hey, it's me, everybody.
I tried.
Oh, I appreciate
Earth.
it. You know, I mean.
Earth's got some fans
excellent
now.
work.
Okay. Water.
Wow.
All right. Well, I think Shadowfell's still winning that
Okay.
one. It's
So, before we shift, though, I mean, we got the. Again, I assume John is going to try and figure out how.
all right. So, I think I've got a frequency for you.
All right, hang on a second.
He gives you a bunch of archaic jargon.
Yeah, no, I understand. We're basically trying to attune.
01189999911972553.
Yeah, got it.
Wait, isn't that the frequency to Ravenloft? Into the mist! No.
Okay.
No.
Okay. Did you say
Shadowfell is
3?
right next to.
That was a 3
I think
at
we
the
just get
end.
Jason to put us into the mist for a bit.
John, focus. 3 at the end, correct? That's
Oh yes, you definitely want the 3.
Okay. All right. So, work up a little gadget that I'm adjusting the gate with. I do have to say, before we go, 5. Here's the deal. Yes! You seem like a go-getter, like a hard worker.
Oh, thank you, sir.
You
Yes.
work a fine forge, and you have just helped a bunch of strangers, rob your boss, basically.
What?
And here's my question. Do you want to stay here and get in trouble with that? Or do you want a new job on a new plane where we will find exciting new ways to use your skills? I mean, or we can basically, he's got some flash freezy stuff, just saying, up to you. We can end it quick if that's how you want it.
What kind of benefits do we have?
Dental, yeah. I mean, we'll work on that. We'll get it. Let me see your teeth.
Oh, thanks a lot.
Yeah, we'll make that work.
Well, sure, you can't be any worse than the Afreed.
That's what I'm saying. Plus, how about that hat?
Little does he know.
Yeah, all right. So you come with us, and meanwhile, let's just scoop a couple of. I was doing detect magic earlier. Just grab a couple things, chuck in the. I got a bag of holding here. As long as we're leaving, and then we'll take one of those and one of those. And,
we just
you want
robbed the
anything?
vault
It's
blind.
like
why
it's like
not?
a candy store. And then let's get out of here before Big E shows up.
Big E.
Right,
the
and
portal
as
they go.
the spell phone is hung up, ooh, oh no, that was 8. I'm sure that's
John.
I'm sure they'll be fine.
His name is not actually John, by the way. That's just a thing we do, to try and make it
John
feel
Rasco?
a little
Joe
more,
Rasco?
Yeah, all right.
That's Slarty Bartfast.
Yes, it is.
So, I guess a portal opens, we go through.
Yes, you do.
All right, then.
Darkness falls. Everything is black, gray, shades of gray, shades of black.
This doesn't look like
Twisted
Eberron.
trees like limbs grasping towards the sky. A low, eerie mist washing over the land. The ground dead, yet strangely
The plane of
Soft.
university poetry.
Yeah, exactly.
yeah.
I thought it was a Teenage Diary, but
The wind,
Oh, yeah,
the
yeah.
wind hustles through the trees, and it just sounds like a load of people snapping their fingers.
I feel like I've been talking a lot, so I'm gonna shut up and work
Ambiance.
with. I'm gonna work with number 5 on some
I think we
contract
need to do this right now.
deals. So
That's
you
right.
guys figure this out.
Right. Well,
It's
stay
cold
with,
here.
Stay with us.
Here, let me give you a little.
Walk
Really
with
quickly,
us.
I will cast Pass Without a Trace on
Oh,
the
excellent.
party.
Nice,
Just,
great idea. Love it.
just to be sure that we are not
Yes, very good.
Knowing what I've had.
pink glitter falls on all everybody.
And knowing what
and
I've
it
had to deal
disappears.
with, even with that, I will just go invisible.
Okay.
Is that a thing we're doing now? Because I can do that
This
too.
is definitely not Shadowdale.
Yes.
Is this your home, Elminster?
No, this is not my home.
But we were told that we would send you home.
Yes, we were lied to.
Wait, you're not from the Shadowfell? I really thought we had this conversation
No,
before.
no.
Okay. It's very confusing.
Yes. I need a place with better dancers. So, we should all stay together.
You saying you don't enjoy shadow dancing?
Oh, I do.
Oh.
But that's
Alicia's
not
got something.
a party opportunity.
I'm getting the look.
Don't mind me.
All right.
Can we just do this?
So,
Do it. I don't know what it is, but I like it.
Oh no, we still
The
got some
temporal
time. We
mystics
got
have
15 minutes left.
suddenly remembered the power.
We got 15 minutes left. Let's wait. If we can't solve it by then, I think she's got this.
I do have to say, I'm going to appreciate it if after they showed up saying they're here to get us home and proceeded to just get blown up by every trap along the way, if at the end they're just like, oh, you had the power all along.
Banishment.
That's a good point.
Don't try! You stole my moment. I want it on record that was my
It was
idea.
her idea. It was her idea.
that'll work.
It was her idea.
All right, well, let's have a little fun
Wait
in the
a
Shadowfell
second.
before we go.
Yes, as the two foxes are currently realizing that they did indeed have power all along.
Sly like a fox.
There's no place
But
like home.
You see, I
There's
still
no
have
place like.
I still have many hit points. We must at least finish this one before we go.
A figure strolls between the trees, black robed with multicolored eye sockets, one red and one green, just passing through, just kind of
Very
crooking
Christmassy.
I'm hiding.
crooking its head with the sound of cracking bones and rattling as it stares over towards the lot of you.
Friend of yours?
No.
I thought you were from here.
Did
You gotta get that
It's
straightened out.
time! I say, pointing at the figure.
So what?
Is the figure coming over?
Oh, yes.
Oh, yeah, okay.
More raw components for servants.
Disintegrate.
Ladies and gentlemen, Elminster Shadowdale. We'll be here all week because we can't find our way home.
Very well, you may disintegrate the Eye of Fear and Flame.
Yep, that's fine. I'm on it.
If I want to do it, I can't.
All right, let's see what we got here.
Ooh.
Oh, that's a bunch of sixes.
Yeah.
Yeah, that is a lot of sixes. All right, so that is the last one was a record for damage. We just did it again. So that is 10, 20, 30, 45 plus 40, 85 points of damage for disintegrate, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah, that's
Mage of the round.
that's gonna hurt. Oof. I mean, up is a relative term, as his entire lower half has ceased existence. This rib cage and bony hands just start clawing around.
Spike. We'll just tempo.
Oh yeah, just kick him while he's down. Why don't
spike
you?
it together. Just
Just rolls over, jitters, and slow motion starts to try to crawl away.
Let's just do a prismatic ray.
Why not?
I mean, I guess we could have talked to him, but I mean, I think you've got this figured out. We're just passing the
Pretty sure
time,
the
right?
prismatic rays are
Yeah.
real.
no trap here
okay.
at least. No trap here at least.
That was a good point. That is going to be fire damage. I like a little fire. Although fear and fire, is he immune to it? Save me some dice rolling.
I mean, he's not immune to fire, incidentally.
You know what I just noticed while he's doing this? Nobody showed up when I pulled that cell phone. I'm a free woman.
All right. That is another 20, 30, 40
That's
points
how
of
you get
damage. I mean, it's no, disintegrate or
This is
anything.
fire.
If there'd been a whole bunch of them, yeah.
Yes. The half a skeleton with, it had some robes left, is now on fire as it rolls around, slow, sort of
You want to get in on this?
slightly atomized.
What does 5 do?
I don't know. What does 5 do? I mean, you technically have a new job for him.
That's a good point. I mean, well, first off, 5, you want to shot this and give you a fireball if you're feeling a little under the weather.
Oh, you want me to stab that?
Yeah, sure, go ahead. That is the kind of go-getter actor that is going to really get you somewhere in our organization.
The Eye of Fear and Flame falls, its robes tattered and fluttering,
Nice work, 5.
when suddenly screaming organ pipes rise above the din of the screaming skeleton. The gray darkness of the Shadowfell ripples and writhes as just this skull rolls along the floor. And even the fact that it's a skull, you can tell that it was quite afraid. The coagulating mist begins to wreath around you, forming live hands that reach out towards you, and an echoing, cruel laugh joins in with the macabre organ.
You got this?
Now would be a good time.
Yeah, do your thing.
To do what we have to do.
Oh, I don't know. I mean, do whatever it is you want to do. I mean, I'm just saying, we just blew up
So
an
Iki and
eye.
I just realized it is all this time we had an easy way to get you home.
Oh,
Simply, we could just banish you back to your home plane of existence.
You know,
The
since we were
grasping
little,
mists.
he's always done this. Iki and I realized, taking the credit for every single thing that I ever say.
Here's the problem. Once we banish you, we have no ability to put ourselves home.
well, that doesn't seem like an ideal solution.
Whereas if we had done this from the beginning, we would be home.
Oops.
But
I believe you've broken a few rules.
I want to
cell
break
phone?
some more. I'm going to leave the cell phone in
Spell.
in Shadowfell.
Okay.
Anyone to find it. I think somebody might be angry about that, but only
Quite
after we
possibly.
banish, though.
So, I see that. So what's happening around us right now?
Mists of grasping claws and snakes are slowly swirling as an organ plays from within their depths and the cackling laugh of a madman echoes.
Are you ready to go home now?
Now I got a question.
Yes.
I mean, I'm just going to ask.
Sure.
They're about to send us home. Now,
One would assume.
I've been studying. She's been pulling things through time.
Yes.
All this time.
Yes.
I mean, I'm not saying I'm a super genius because I don't have to. It's well established.
Of course. It goes without saying. You might.
Yeah.
say.
So I mean, I'm just saying I'm going to study this whole chronomancy business, and if in the future I were to create some kind of time machine or something, I might, I don't know, bury like a scroll of, I don't know, plane shift for these kids, under that rock
Like
over
right,
there.
like right there.
Right there.
Only you
Like right
had
there under
some
that rock.
sort of
Oh, very
artifact
clever.
that manipulated the veil.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, I'm not sure how I'll pull this off, like what kind
Right.
of power source, but I have a couple ideas. So I'm
Yeah.
just saying, if in the future I manage to do that, I would put it under that rock. So I mean, I'm just gonna.
He's still
check.
intended
Hey, you
excellent
can use the cell phone to
adventuring
let us know.
That's a good point. I think that has to be. I ought to call you when I get there.
All right.
We're Bill and Tedding it is what we're doing.
Yeah, that's what we're doing.
Okay. Okay, fine. Yeah, there's a scroll under that rock.
I'm just saying, the future is
I mean,
so
we're way
bright.
ahead of
I
you.
gotta
I'm
put my goggles
literally
on.
trying to get arrested here.
Yeah, I know. The temporal mystics don't want to mess with the mists of Ravenloft attempting to take you all. So, luckily, you have
That's how
super
we get
genius.
away with it.
Yeah, Mr. Ravenloft.
Super genius. All right.
So I will be like, are you ready to go home now?
Yeah. Hey, look under that rock after you. We do whatever we do.
Cool.
I'll always remember you fondly.
I may remember you
Every time
maybe.
I smell the scent of frying fox.
I have a very bad sense of memory. I'm sorry.
His whiskers drop. He's like the Puss in Boots thing.
I'm just saying, you got my number there, Pink Ranger.
Ooh.
And if you ever need us,
Always call. Goodbye, Elminster of Chateau Jael, and Merrix of Eberron,
fare thee well.
and we'll banish them.
Okay, you are left alone with but a humble scroll of the future.
Hey, look at the scroll. It is what?
It is
you
a
read
scroll of plane shift.
Yes. What's the phrase from Evil Dead, or from Army of Darkness? What was the last
I actually
word?
sketched a little pair of foxes holding hands on the bottom. I thought it was kind of cute. It's like one of those little Da Vinci drawings.
Cast the plane shift.
Okay, I need you to make an Arcana check.
Arcana check.
Oh yeah,
Can I help? Can I help?
You
No?
certainly can. You can have advantage on that. It's beyond your current skills.
I'm doing it. You're helping me. 25. I have deemed it so. 25.
What was the total?
25.
Oh, that'll get the job done.
It's much better than I had 14.
As you both begin to dematerialize, just as the misty claws grab right where you were, and you arrive back home, sapphire grass tickling your feet as the moss covering the path stretches out before you. It looks kind of sick and not healthy. That you might have to have a word with the gardener. Otherwise, things seem relatively calm since you last left. But you're home.
Thank you. And thank you to the audience. All right.
Yes, that's a very good point. We need to, unfortunately, disclose that while Elminster and Merrix were banished,
I would just like to make a point that the thing about dismissal, correct me if I'm wrong, is it sends you back to your home plane, right?
Yes.
And the point is, it was only after meeting me that Five truly had a home. I was giving him a home. Yeah, I've got some really bad heartburn.
Which
No,
would
you've
then
given
mean-
him a home. And
Yes, there we
And
go.
it's out.
So you arrive back in your office. with a new secretary.
Yeah. I'm just saying, he did some good work on that Eye of Fire and Flame.
Here's the paperwork, boss.
There you go.
You realize
oh,
you're
it got burned up. Oh, by your fiery hands. Oh, that's so sad.
Yeah.
Yeah, keep up the good work.
You realize, Keith, that your next book you put out, you'll have to have this character in there.
Yeah, of course.
There you go.
Merrix
You've
now
witnessed
has
the
a
next future of
salamander. Yeah. Right.
John the Salamander. No, not John.
John
John.
Portal is getting fired. That guy sucks.
John Portal.
Thank you, Devin, our Dungeon Master. Thank you to our special guests.
I will simply say, I never had the opportunity. I was planning all along to wait for the good opportunity to say, so you're chronomancers, right? So you're manipulating the veil? You're welcome. But that veil thing, you like that?
It was very good.
That was
I'll tell you.
us. Anyhow.
So we'll just talk a little bit about the last couple days, and then we'll get into some questions and answers, and we're going to toss it over to Ryan in a second, who's going to come over and bring the microphone to you guys so you can ask the questions so that everybody can hear the questions you're asking. So the idea to do this whole thing was based on the fact that I have known these three individuals separately under multiple different banners, such as game design and conventions, and going to old Polaris in Toronto with Ed. And the idea was to time capsule some of the greats together. And so
Because we will be dead in 24 hours. So it was, I'm just saying, you'll be glad this exists.
Listen,
She's
I
old-fashioned,
want to
right?
interrupt, but he has predicted so much in the last couple days that I am fearful.
It's a burden. I'm just saying, me and Doc Manhattan. But anyhow, carry on.
And so they've all agreed to come here to do this show that we recorded the last 2 days in our studio space, which we'll be releasing. That is a story essentially of the heroes of their realms coming into the world of Legacy of Mana. And the destiny of worlds was that Toril and Eberron and Imaria were converging to some cool universe storyline that you'll have to watch some of this. When you watch this again later on YouTube, you will then see a lot of the esoteric references that fired out there when we were like, spoiler alert. But yeah, and it was, and you know what? The one thing that really happened at the end of the last episode we filmed last night was that we all got super emotional because we had a good time. This is the first time that Keith and Ed, two world creators, have ever role played together. And this was the first time. Well, you played with Keith.
I played with Keith.
We played together.
But I've never played with Ed.
No.
Well, I mean, don't, no. Let me rephrase. No, I have never played with Ed, but also we hung out in the Yawning Portal together,
Yes.
so that's cool.
Yeah.
But,
Yeah.
as you do.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And, there's a lot of people that do a lot of cool things, but we were very fortunate and very lucky to have been able to actually align everybody together to do this. So, and this round table idea to do it here as a live play was just sort of a way for us to sort of like give back to the audience and have the audience just let you know like the proceeds all go to them because they did this entire film thing on the house for us. And so this is our way of giving back. So they're going to sign some things.
Thank you.
And thank you, yes.
Yeah.
They're going to sign some things, but we're going to do some questions. So I'm sure you have a bunch of burning questions in your mind for these wonderful creators who are literally one Kevin Bacon degree away from the head of the Hydra. Hail Hydra. And so they can give some
Hail
information
hydration.
about their history, where they came from. Let's try and keep it light. Let's talk about like their lives, like the things, the cool stories. Ask them questions about their design process. Anything you want, really. Ryan Labrie, our tech man, thank you so much for making all this built up tonight.
I got you.
Quick, finish your drinks before they ask us questions.
All right.
And, of course, to our DM.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah, that guy.
Plotted
Give
the
it up
whole
for Devin.
thing.
Hell yeah. Okay, so obviously none of us have questions, right? There's nothing that you want to. Yeah, okay. So yeah, I'll come around. Keep it light, keep it fun, and don't ask things like what your favorite color is. So who wants to go first?
All right.
We might get a little bit of feedback, so don't speak too quietly.
Okay, this is for Ed. I grew up on the Forgotten Realms series. Absolutely loved it. My biggest question, how did you come up with Elminster? Because he was one of my favorite characters.
How
I
did
thought
I
you just
come?
looked in the mirror and just said,
No.
oh, that guy.
No,
Yeah, he's in the book.
No. When I came up with Elminster, I was 5 years old.
I thought you
No
still
beard.
just looked in.
Skinny, black nerd glasses, those plastic ones that were supposed to be unbreakable. Yeah, that's it. No, I needed a whimsical, crotchety old mouthpiece who was a totally unreliable narrator. The sort of later on when Elminster precedes Dungeons and Dragons, but when D&D came along, he was the sort of guy who would pop up out of the dark, dank pool in the dungeon room in which all the party were drowning as the water level rose higher. He'd pop up beside them and said, "Well, here's another fine mess you've gotten yourselves into. If you'd taken the secret to all 3 rooms back, you wouldn't be in this inescapable death trap now. But, well, I guess..." And so I needed somebody to do that. In other words, somebody to say all the things that 5-year-old shy, nerdy me could not say to anyone older than me and anyone female in the world. So Elminster was my mouthpiece to be effing outrageous. And he's never looked back.
Very cool.
All right, who else has a question?
All right, so this one's for Keith. And this is kind of it's a world building question.
All right.
If you had to take a world like Forgotten Realms and eventually evolve it into Eberron, what would you say would be the 3 main things you'd need within the world?
Well, I mean, just one of the things is that in some ways, part of the specific design of Eberron was to be a counterpart to Forgotten Realms. That aside from the idea, Forgotten Realms is more high magic, high fantasy, that's its purpose. Eberron was like, well, then let's be low-wide magic. Forgotten Realms has very active gods, so Eberron was like, well, let's have distant gods, just because it meant you want to tell one kind of story, here is a place to do it. You want to tell another kind of story, here's another place to do it. So the first question is sort of, well, do you need to? Why wouldn't you just do that? The second is whether there's already places in Forgotten Realms, and am I thinking Gond? There are, places in Forgotten Realms that have sort of industrialized magic. The main point in Eberron is it's just much more widespread. Like, this is how the world... So I'd probably start by saying, hey, what if the Gond guys, sort of start spreading that and expand more? I don't think you necessarily have to make a lot of dramatic changes. It's just a matter of thinking of the impact of if you started having mage rights, where it's not just the Wizards of Thay who have this power, but on the basic street, everybody can do some rituals or prestidigitation. It's the whole idea of just look at our world in, say, the 16th century and look at our world in, say, late 19th century and just say, well, how would you take that? What would be the impact of having a magical workforce and things? So as I said, I don't think you have to change it as much dramatically as you would look at each culture and say, okay, and if, Thay is an obvious example to me of, well, if you start industrializing magic, look to the places that already have strong magic. What do you think would be
Halrua, which we've almost not seen in the published realms, but in Halrua, they're doing things like using magic for soap dispensers, and flush toilets, and lights that come on when you walk into a room.
And so that would be the point to me, is I'd start by looking at those places and saying, now you're just going to see more of the realms resembling that to some degree.
And then you encourage the Harpers.
Right.
And you encourage the Chosen of Mystra so that your magic user tyrants, like Thay and Halrua, cannot be tyrants anymore because everybody knows.
Right.
And then you have your tech revolution because everybody can do it. Oh, well, in that case, we don't have to dig all day,
We had an interesting moment in the game we were playing last week, just a, tiny spoiler, but basically where you have an Eltherian, sort of decrying magic as this thing, talking about all the bad stuff magic has done. And, Merrix's attitude is magic is like a sword. People have done a lot of terrible things with swords. It's not that, any tool can be used for good or bad. It's what do you do with it? And
it's not the sword's fault.
Right, but the question is it available to everyone? Whereas the point of the Eltherians is it's not, And so if you have tyrants using it, the point of Eberron is saying everybody has magic. If it's the tool we're using, then you just try and use it for good. Anyhow, that was a long answer. Hopefully that gave you something to work with.
I don't want to interject.
Yeah,
As a bystander to world creators within this IP and everything, but I think that modeling after real world history, there's a moment of tension between real world religion and science in the Renaissance period that could be modeled within D&D, that you could actually force if you were to upgrade, Forgotten Realms into, converting Faerun into, an Eberron type society where you have so many stories to tell, where you have this, science versus the gods.
I completely agree. And one of the things I always tell people, when people will come up with, well, have they done this in Eberron? Is there labor movements in Eberron? And my thing is, well, there could be now. Like, a story is more interesting if the players actually get to be part of it happening than just, there was an industrial revolution and now we have magic everywhere. Yeah. Because I agree that, exactly what you're saying is, look at our history. Look at how industrial revolutions happen. Imagine now that it's magic and such. But personally, as I said, I'd be more interested in being in the middle of that. Than just saying,
there's so many stories to tell there that we don't actually have.
Spoiler warning, there's a moment in our play that we just completed.
We're going to tell you the whole thing by the time we're done.
No, we're not. No,
we encounter an environment without safety railings.
Oh.
So, of course, immediately Elminster says, oh, a non-unionized environment.
That's true. That's true.
And who got hurt in that one? Themes.
What else we got?
More questions.
All right, questions. Raise your arms. There we go.
Here. The front now.
Okay, let's arm wrestle. Let's go.
That's fine. Everybody else needs to hear it.
So as a forever DM, I have a lot of questions I could probably pick all your brains with.
But you get one.
But I get one.
One, sir.
So we can all answer it if you'd like. Yellow.
I'm gonna make it light and easy. It's for all of you guys. Obviously, 2023 we have the D&D movie coming out. What are your thoughts and feelings on that one? And do you have a favorite D&D themed movie from prior? Like, they were all really bad.
All right. I just want to stop for a moment and say, you're a forever GM. You want some advice, and the question is, how do you like the D&D movie? Which is good. You guys?
Okay, well,
start off?
as the one here that probably his career was built and started on film. I started in film production. The set design in a place like this is clearly from, especially the front was built by set designers that I'd hired for about a decade. Called them and said, I need you to build me a castle, not out of foam, because most of these sets are built out of foam. I was a fan of the first few D&D movies, even though they were farces, because I understand producers...
I'm leaving now.
No, hold on. I'll explain why I'm a fan. Because I understand the difficulty behind production and running out of budgets and having to deal with politics. And it is very hard for films to come out respecting the content because of the bureaucracy bull crap that happens behind the scenes. But, that being said, little tiny things like the dude with the blue lips that everybody hates, when you find out that he had an intellect devourer in his head later, you're like, oh, that's kind of cool. Yes, there was a lot of flaws, but whatever. But as for the new film, I will say this. Do I think it is cheeky and funny? Most likely. Is that what D&D is for most of us? Yes.
Did you just watch this?
Well,
which were we more like, Jeremy
We just called a cell phone into time and had like a paradox. So I think it's going to be that. I'm a big Chris Pine fan, so I'm going to like it just for the fact that Chris Pine is in it. Am I going in expecting like a Game of Thrones epic? No, and if you are, you'll be vastly disappointed. But if you're going in having watching it like Buffy the Vampire Slayer, it's going to be amazing, I think.
Tommy, are you pining for Pine?
Yeah. I mean, I'll tell you one thing. In Friends, you get a top 5, and I only have a top 4. And if I was allowed to replace my 5th, Pine would probably be it.
Anything?
I mean, you said a lot of what I would say, but I mean, it looks like every single, everybody aspires for their game to be this epic, heroic, adventure.
Lord of the Rings.
And you know the meme where it's like, okay, you start off as these like heroic heroes, and like in actuality, it's like Monty Python, and that is what I'm expecting this film to be somewhere in between. It looks fun. It looks
It does
good.
look
The
fun.
special effects look amazing. I cannot wait. I know a secret, but I can't tell it. But there's
that's just mean. You're
but
just
the thing
bragging
is
now.
like no. But I'm very very excited.
Bro secrets. What is the secret? No, I'm kidding.
I'll tell you later. And but yeah, no, I'm thrilled about it. I'm old and grew up on the cartoon, and I still like watch it so often. I actually just watched it a few weeks ago all the way through with my kids again, and and I love it. It's cheesy and stupid and wonderful, and all the everything that's come through. Like
I
don't
should have
know.
showed you in the costume department. I have a Questor's costume. The total thing with the green hat and everything. I got a Questor's costume. But anyway, sorry. What's your opinions on the movie? Oh, speaking of the movie,
I'll just move to something different. Sorry.
we have some of the movie posters to give away today,
nice.
actually.
Oh.
That was given to us by one of our staff members, Cam. Tip him well. No. And so we have these movie posters from the theater that there's about, I think there's 5 or 6 of them.
There's 5.
That we're going to be giving 5 of them, which we're going to be giving away tonight. We were going to have all of the players and the DM pick inspiration from the party to do so. We'll get to that
so
later.
all the people that made us.
Yeah, who?
I know.
I remember those
You're not
hard,
getting a
very
poster.
hard.
But before we get to that, let's go.
I don't need to. I echo everything that has been said. The main thing I will simply say is come to the D&D cartoon is that I actually was playing in a Tales from the Loop campaign for about 8 sessions, and at the end of it, we were very tempted to just pull a D&D cartoon and just say, okay, now let's just get back to playing D&D, but it will be our Tales from the Loop characters being tossed into riding a magic roller coaster. And
Love it.
We never ended up doing it, but I like the idea. Anything you want to add?
I just want to say one thing, because this is one thing I can say with
You're
NDA.
in it?
No, I am not. No.
Should be. You should be like the Stan Lee of.
First
I
year,
should be the
he's in it.
Stan Lee. Yeah.
All right, but
I just want a movie that those of us who play D&D and other role-playing games, when our parents, grandparents, co-workers, probation officers, whoever we have contact with who doesn't play the game at all and doesn't know anything about role-playing games says, "Oh, I saw that movie. Is that D&D?" We can say yes proudly instead of saying yes. That's all.
Very good.
Yeah.
Very true.
So let's
And I
hope-
mean, let's face it. Go see it.
Yeah.
Because if it does well,
We
there
get
will
more.
be more.
they will open up opportunities, and then hopefully someone like Henry Cavill will jump in and champion it and say, "I'll champion this, and I want to make it right." And we don't even know if it's going to be wrong or
Yeah.
right yet.
Yeah,
So-
and I can. The one thing I can tell you, if it is successful, there are plans for more. Like, there are plans for more, and Hollywood being what it is always a crapshoot to get your chosen male lead, your chosen female lead, and your chosen director in the same box at the same time. It is really hard to do. Which means, if there are sequels, there will definitely be cast changes and director changes down the road if there are a sufficient number of movies, which means you may get different takes on D&D. You may get darker movies. You may get more epic movies, but you won't get any of them if this movie bombs at the box office. It will end here.
Go
Just
see
as
it, folks.
Yeah. And we're getting a TV show too. I don't know if
Yes.
everybody heard,
Yeah.
but like that was just
So,
announced earlier.
it's a new
this week.
animated series, right?
Yeah.
Future movies. Brian Johnson takes just the word. I'm kidding. My spike. No. Oh, okay. Good question.
All right, let's
So,
get it.
All right.
More
We got
questions.
2 more over
More
here.
questions.
Lots of questions. We have lots of times, folks.
Oh, he went all the way to the back, so I'm afraid you guys in the front, you're probably losing out again.
Hi. Hello.
Hello.
Hey.
Hey, how's it going?
You're 4 prolific game creators. what advice do you have for aspiring game creators?
What kind of game?
Game creators.
Tabletop role-playing games specifically.
Okay, well that's a different story.
Okay.
You want to take this one?
Yes, for tabletop role-playing games, I
You've
would
only made a few.
a couple.
Dozen.
I would say that if you are an aspiring tabletop role-playing game creator, I would never put your pen down and keep writing. And I know that there's a difference between making a board game or a card game and role-playing games. And I know that a lot of people feel like, you sit in front of a blank page and you start to feel like, oh, whatever I'm going to write isn't good enough. Or I may be thinking of something that is already out there. Keep writing and keep writing, keep writing. Keep playing different systems as well. Because even if you intend to stick with following within Dungeons & Dragons, whatever edition it may be or whatever it is, learning from other systems and other mechanics will influence your design. And playing with people that are outside of your normal play group will help influence what things you can do, because I know that I have a game group that I have fortunately been playing with for, I don't want to age myself, but like 28-ish years, the same group, and I still play with them every single week. I'm very fortunate. I also play with new play groups all the time, and the way that situations are handled are very, very different. And so you can learn from that, and you can learn what types of mechanics you can build into your system, if it's a new system, or what type of flavor and narrative you would build into your system based on different types of play groups. So play lots of systems, play lots of games, and from that, adapt. And that is the way that I have I've learned so much. Most of my mechanics design and narrative design has been a story of my playing career since I was 13 years old. So I would say just play with lots of different people and never forget to keep the pen in your hand, take notes, and anytime you have any sort of inspiration, put that on the page.
I agree.
Yeah.
You're here.
And I will only say one thing to amplify that. I'm going to take you back to TSR in the good old days.
Tell us a story, Uncle Ed.
Yeah.
Uncle L. Eke sits and waits patiently.
So, I used to visit TSR for a week a year for border crossing customs exemption reasons, so I could buy stuff at Gen Con. So I would be at TSR for a few days before and a few days after. The few days after don't matter because management was so exhausted for having to meet dirty, unwashed gamers that they took the days off. So all the workers showed up and told Gen Con stories and ate pizza and ordered in and everything because no work was being done. But the ones before Gen Con, we got to talk. And there was a rush of stuff to get done before Gen Con. And Bruce Hurd, who was acquisitions manager, I would overhear as I sat there in cubicle land, they would shove me in somebody's empty cubicle. And they had a lot of those that, they'd fire people and people would die of cholera and stuff and never come back from the washroom. And so there'd be an empty cubicle and they'd put me in it to work. And then I'd hear Bruce Hurd sidle into the cubicle next door and he'd say, "Hello, I know you want to tweak that to the end of time, but I am here to pry it from your cold, dead hands because production needs it right now. If your hands are not cold and dead right now, I can make them that way." So, I'm pointing at the next thing you must do. If you want to publish a role-playing game, you must come to a point where you say, it's finished. Or at least the first release is finished. And then you must look at that first release and say, is it complete? For people to start playing. Not everything I want to do with my setting, but is it complete to play with? If the answer is yes, then get off the pot and go through the incredibly difficult process of getting it published. The writing is the easy part, unless you are given totally crazy deadlines. Go to the next step of shepherding it through and produce it, because the world is full of brilliant musicians who can't be bothered practicing. So their mum or dad shoved the instrument at them, and they said, oh, wouldn't it be cool if I was, a lead guitarist and doing this on the stage? And they never did. The world is full of unfinished, unpublished novels. Don't be an unfinished, unpublished person. If you believe in your game enough to be wanting to invest time in it, finish it and put it out in the world. Because we all want to see it.
Yeah.
Do it.
I'll say that Devin and I had a good stare there. We're kind of a little misty-eyed because that's exactly the path of Legacy of Mana. Legacy of Mana was born in 1993 when D&D, when I was at Forgotten Realms playing games, and then started just developing unique concepts and stuff with my friends to the point where then we just originally tried to create a new realm of Forgotten Realms, which then eventually just became its own world. And then Birthright came and threw everything out of the way. But I've always been sort of trying to do my own thing, but I documented everything that my friends and I did. And before I became a game designer, I never thought it would come anything more than just notes that I was too nostalgically clinging to throw away. And then when I became a game designer and realized I could probably do a role-playing game, I actually had multiple iterations of this book, some of which maybe some of you even have. There was a flimsy version in 2011. It was about 70 pages that was illegally for 4th edition. Pathfinder and Savage Worlds. And then there was several years later, I did another one that I thought was going to be the next edition. And every time I released it, it still wasn't what I wanted it to be. And then I met Devin, and he lost his free time, and Kyle, who should be here, but he's not here. And the three of us worked hard on this project and came up with this book. And I can tell you that it's still not done. Mm-hmm. And there's a lot of changes. Even after arguing, I was like, oh, we should have done that. But you can't. Like, it's like that Next Generation episode where Data keeps stroking the painting over and over again, and it's never going to be finished. You just have to get it out there.
That's what supplements are for.
I lost a lot of money off this because I printed it in Guelph, which cost me 5 times what it would have cost me to print anywhere else.
So Guelph costs wealth?
Guelph costs wealth.
It's going to be a new thing.
But
TM.
But then, of course, we also spent an obscene amount of money on making sure that the people got what they deserved in it. The writers, the editors, the artists. And then it got put out there. And when we put it out in the world, I actually said to Devin, remember I said, I was like, I'm not self-conscious about this one. I know that it's not perfect. There's just spelling errors here and there. We did what we could. But I would be proud to give this to somebody immediately. And I did. And now look at us, right? And just hearing them talk about the Veil and the concepts of the chronomancy and stuff and the way you love Iki, is just go, it's out there. And the only way you're going to do that is if you just do it. And if it doesn't work out, you go and you do it again. And you do it again. If your hobby is fishing, you have no problem spending $1,000 on a lure that a fish will eat and discard. You just throw $5,000 or you throw $1,000 into the lake. Think about that for a second. Some of our parents or fathers would be fishermen. You might be a fisherman. How much money did dad spend on lures that just lost it when the line broke and you never got to see that expensive lure again? Same principle applies. If you spend $1,000 on a book that just doesn't work and you want to do it again, that means that the fish caught the lure and got away. But if you do it again and again and again, eventually...
I think that's a really important point, is the point of also don't be distressed if it doesn't happen right away. Mm-hmm. You know, that again, it ultimately comes down to the fact that this is not a business to get in if you're doing it because you want to be rich. It's a business to get in if you want to
for
put
sure.
something. But what I'm saying is it's a thing you do because you want to get something out in the world. You want to share something with people. You want to make stories. And the point is, if it doesn't happen the moment you put it online, that doesn't mean it's not going to happen. It means keep trying, keep working on it, keep talking to people.
But not to be discouraged either, because you can make a living as a full-time game designer. I am a full-time game designer. It's just taken a long time to get there. And
exactly.
As a new game designer, you may feel a sense of imposter syndrome or whatever it is, but like I've been in this industry for 22 years, and I have made, I have lost count, but close to, or if not above, 200 published into distribution titles between board games and tabletop role-playing games. And you still have that moment of like, is this finished? Is this done? And it's very important to remember that D&D is a nearly 50-year-old game that has constantly had updates, constantly had corrections. In fact, every single new book within weeks has errata. Errata is a thing. It's a thing for a reason. It's because you cannot playtest forever. Playtesting is very important. Don't playtest before you publish. But with tabletop role-playing games in particular, you never know what a player will try to pull off to screw up your game. And I know I didn't get much of an opportunity tonight, but I didn't. But normally, I try to break anything I possibly can, and they will. They 100% will. I am not only a writer, but also a DM, and players will break everything they possibly can do, and that's how that's what errata is for. Everybody has errata, so don't worry about just publish it. Just get it out there.
I just got to say that there's also other rewards than just monetary.
Right.
I didn't tell them this, but I had a moment last night that didn't settle in until now, and it actually is a life-changing moment for me. We were driving here to have a drink after playing the game. And everybody was reeling about it. And we were talking about a theme of this trip that we've had, if you don't mind me it was difficult because, Keith was in a conundrum about producing Eberron books, which then Wizard owns versus his own content. Ed talking about the realms and it's not theirs anymore, right? And things, and all the work Elisa did for like Power Rangers. And so then I said, and I think if there used to be a dream that I was like, man, if Wizards of the Coast took this world, then I would be. And then I talked about the fact that the world isn't in their hands, and I don't feel like it's something important. And I don't feel like I've created a world. And Keith said one line to me in the car, and it was, "We're all here playing in your world. You've done it." And he didn't see me, but I was like, I almost got in an accident.
And also, as an aside, like this world is new to me since August.
Yeah.
Which was a surprise because it was like
Luke
a lot.
No, Luke made the dungeon with us, yeah.
Well, I wasn't there for that part.
No, but you played in the dungeon.
I played in this surprise, like, weird world where I basically sat down and like, here's your character, and it was Iki. Mm-hmm. And not knowing what was happening.
I was the DM.
And so this Legacy of Man is so new to me. And I love it. Like, I mean, I would choose to play in this so often. Like, I have such an attachment, not only to this character, and now a new character that has developed this week. Stay tuned. And so, yeah, I mean, if you didn't put this out into the world, you would be robbing me of such joy. So, like, all of you have the ability to put out such joy for people. I mean, think about the joy that you've had over the course of your lives playing this game. And now you can put that out there too.
And definitely, to be clear, that's, the point I was making was not, oh, you're never going to succeed. More, it was, don't give up.
Yeah.
You will succeed.
Absolutely not.
Don't, if it doesn't happen
I look at the stuff that I designed 20 years ago and I'm like, oh my God,
but
that's
it is
crap.
human to tweak and tweak and tweak. The rarity, the rare few, the precious few are the people who say, yeah, I know it's not perfect, but it's got to get out there and take the next step.
Pry it from their cold, dead hands. So with that in mind, we should get into a question. Also, by the way, I only just figured out the logo.
Fine.
I know, I'm just saying. I get it now. I'm like, it's a round table. Got it.
Oh, they took away all my little cherries I was saving. That's okay. I'll save for this one.
All right, what do we got? I mean, there were at least two questions in the front. Oh, you got one.
I got one, yeah.
Oh,
so this one is for mainly Ed, but how does it feel to have created Forgotten Realms and then had it be picked up by TSR, later WotC, and so on, and to have changes be made to the world that you created, your baby, have characters be killed off, have decisions be made that you may not necessarily have made yourself.
Oh, because I certainly can't understand what that would be like.
Definitely you as well.
Tell us what that's like, Ed.
Well, okay. Let's go back to your childhood. When TSR offered to buy the realms in 1986, they said, no, you got to understand, this is going to be our world. We're going to make changes to it. First thing we want to do is dump the Desert of Desolation in, so you're going to have Egyptian pyramids in your realms.
Nice.
And it's a kitchen sink world. We're going to be putting stuff in. We're going to be taking stuff out. We've got this TSR UK Albion campaign that's been orphaned. We're going to sink your Moonshays and put Doug's Albion campaign and rename them the Moonshays. Things are going to be changed. Are you okay with that? And I said yes. So I can't bitch about it now. Because I'm Canadian and I'm essentially fair. We made a deal and I'm sticking to it. That's number one. And number two is, although some of the changes I was able to steer for the very good reason that I helped behind the scenes with Realms products for the next 30 years, because it was easier. I was making designers' days easier. Somebody would be given, 2 module units, 2 slots to write, and they'd be given a month to write something that they should be given 3 months for. And they'd say, "Oh, the fuck am I going to do?" Well, excuse me, they use professional language. And then they'd go into Jeff, who was the traffic cop for the Realms, Jeff Grubb, and he'd say, "Here's Ed's phone number, call Ed. He'll probably have like 40 pages you can just drop into the product." And if I didn't, I'd write them on the spot and send them, because that way I could guide, so they weren't doing things that were too far out. But when it came to the novel writers, some novel writers do their own thing. Some novel writers still consult with me to this day. And the nice thing about what they did, quote good or quote bad, is that when you're the world creator, nothing can surprise you. Every single thing is in the world because you put it there. If the players go around a corner, there's nothing behind that if you didn't put it there. So your world cannot surprise you. Your world can surprise you when dozens of other creators are working it. It comes alive. I mean, you can make it seem alive with all sorts of tricks. And one of them is mentally putting yourself in the world, treating it like it's real, respecting the imaginary characters as if they're real people, giving them real emotions, real feuds, real goals, and writing about it like that. Because if you write about it like it's real, like you're writing news about a real place, it seems more real. But when other people are doing things that you didn't anticipate, like Merlin in Excalibur, to touch on another part of the question in D&D movies, that favorite...
Which we've been quoting all week.
Yes, yeah, but Merlin saying, "Ooh, I didn't foresee this." And that was the same thing. Somebody would do something, and I'd be sitting at home reading it. You see, I had to read a lot of the books in manuscript. Like there was this series called Ed Greenwood Presents, and then there were 6 novels, and I just sort of like died inside. It's like, no. But I was reading all the books in manuscript, and Aaron Evans was writing the Godcatcher, and then later on when I was reading Rosemary Jones with The City of the Dead, and I was just sitting there with my feet up, entranced. And the last time that had happened to me in the Realms before that was Elf Shadow by Elaine Cunningham, when I was sitting reading the book thinking, how did this woman read my mind? This is Waterdeep. This is everything. Oh my goodness, I've got a new story of the Realms that I didn't write. Yeah! And so,
I have to say, for me, that is totally Don Bazingthwaite. Because Don Bazingthwaite was always writing the novels about the subjects I wanted to cover. He's like, could do a whole thing about this. Oh, well, I want to do a whole thing. Oh, but it's good. Never mind. You did great.
You did it. Yeah.
Yeah. I sympathize with that.
Very good.
I have to I have to quick aside back to the things that influenced you, because it is something that I actually said on an interview, but ties to what we were just all talking about. One of the things that really inspired me as a child, I was 6 or 7, is I had on vinyl LP a 6-record set of The Hobbit, like an audiobook reading of The Hobbit, read by Nicole Williamson, Merlin from Excalibur.
Wow.
And if you can probably find it on the internet somewhere. He is fantastic. But I'm just saying, as people who appreciate a good Merlin, let me tell you, he makes a good Gandalf too. I'm just saying, dark for dark business.
Very good question.
All right,
Okay.
what else we got?
So, more questions.
We got this guy. He's been waiting.
My question is for Lisa. So you've gotten work in major IPs like Power Rangers and Transformers and G.I. Joe, all cartoons I grew up on, and My Little Pony even. And growing up also, I played lots of role-playing games like TMNT, Robotech, Marvel Superheroes, DC. Is there an IP out there that you would like to muck about in, and maybe across the panel if you guys had a
that you
chance?
aren't already unable to talk about?
Yes.
Yeah.
Which I know.
This is a really difficult question for me to answer, and I'm going to answer it as diplomatically as I possibly can. Yes, there are many out there, some of which I am actively working on, and I'm very happy to do so, and some that I really intend to and wouldn't want to jeopardize. I will say that there is one out there that I know that I will never get. So I'll talk about that one.
I got one of those too, so I can...
and it's very unfortunate, but I'm putting it out there anyway, just in case, the secret and all that.
Maybe somebody here is like a licensing rep.
No, it's impossible. I've been trying literally for 20 years, and that is The Legend of Zelda. Unfortunately, it is so tied up in a business system, I will call it, of
culturally tied.
No possible way of ever creating new stories because of the way that IP is written and created and controlled. And I have been trying for a very, very, very long time. So that is definitely one. I have a few.
That was interesting.
But I have a few that I am actively working on, and I wish I could talk about them, but I cannot either break NDA or jinx my possibilities. But I will say that, to answer some sort of question, G.I. Joe and Transformers and My Little Pony specifically, I am of an age where I sort of missed the window on Power Rangers. I studied a lot. I watched 30 years of television in a very short amount of time in order to be able to do Power Rangers. But I did sort of miss that one because of, where I was in life. I was a, 17-year-old goth kid when that came out. But G.I. Joe, Transformers, and My Little Pony specifically were so important fundamentally to my childhood. My brother and I had a room in our house that we called the playroom. It was like a big room that we had games in. We were very fortunate, and we would literally set up armies of all of those, including also Masters of the Universe. I can't discount that.
Armies of all of those, you mean like G.I. Joe's
figurines
fighting My Little Pony?
Yes.
Okay, good.
I mean, we had literally
That's the best
Masters of the
player ever.
Universe characters riding upon My Little Pony.
Where's my invite?
What
to
pony would
invade-
Snake Eyes ride?
Fluttershy, of course. No, but yeah. So, and we would make up wargaming rules as a 5 and 7-year-old to play out literally what was miniature wargaming at the time, but we didn't know that it was that. And I spoke about this a lot, and I feel like I put it out there in the universe.
And you got all those blood.
And then suddenly I was in a position to be in charge of all of that. I was the senior producer of role-playing games at Renegade, and I was like, oh, I get to do whatever I want with this. This is my literal dream come true. And it was such an honor to be able to not only develop a system, of mechanics that fit so well with those, but also be able to do so many books before I, moved on back into my freelance career. And honestly, dream come true. And so it's not impossible, but just put it out there. Like, I talked about it all the time.
It's
and I
interesting.
think that people came to me because I talked about it all the time.
It's
So
interesting you say that because I made a joke about someone in the audience might be a representative. I was on a panel at Gen Con, and we made a game called Super Camelot for Catalyst Game Labs, which is basically Legend of Zelda, the board game. And the reason why we made that is because we really wanted to make Legend of Zelda, the board game. So we copied and made a version of it as King Arthur and Knights of the Round Table, which is here in the store, but you can play it and stuff. In the panel, I said, this game is basically Legend of Zelda, the board game, but Nintendo has to get their head out of their ass. And at the end of the panel, a representative comes up to me and says, I'm a rep from Nintendo. I'm here visiting to see if Nintendo would like to get into board games. Here's my card. I will let you know that is still, and that was 5 years ago.
It's impossible.
That is still he is in Nintendo, whose entire purpose was to go and learn the board game industry for potential board games. Literally sits in a panel about a board game that is a direct ripoff of Zelda, and is now still trying to get them to acknowledge it.
we'll talk later. There are many, many reasons. But
when I
putting it
said-
out there is important because I also, same story, I was lead designer of Betrayal at House on the Hill, Widow's Walk. And the reason why I got that job is because I went to so many conventions, and whenever anybody asked me, what is your favorite game?
Yep.
I don't have favorites. But I would say my intro game when I'm introducing people to tabletop board games, my gateway game that I always put out on the table is Betrayal at House
That's
on
the
the Hill.
reason why this place exists.
Do we have Scooby-Doo Betrayal on House on
We
the Hill?
do. It's right over there.
Yeah, there's.
Excellent.
I did not do that one.
Get your card.
But
I'm just saying, is the trainer always just an old guy in a mask? Because that's what I would like to be.
Basically. But I basically put it out there. I'm like, and whenever anybody asks me, if you had a dream of anything you could possibly do, I said over and over and over again, I want to design more haunts. I want to fix the problem with the levels of the house. Why is there no bathroom in this house? I put one in there. And the reason why I did, I always said, this is what I want to do. And you put it out there and you can get it. So just talk about what you want to do. Try.
So I'm curious to see what licenses, considering you've got the two big ones. I mean, for me, I'll just say it and pass it on. It's always going to be Final Fantasy 2 or 4, depending on which angle you're looking at it. That will always be my baby. And if I ever can crack the Japanese nut to get in there and get that, I would do it. But what are some licenses that you do?
Honestly, for me, it's not really something I think about because I'm so interested in making my own things. I mean, I'll say, like, for example, we were really excited to work with the McElroy family on the Adventure Zone. So I just did Adventure Zone Bureau of Balance, and that was a delightful experience to run with. Other than that, it's I'll think of 10 things in an hour that I would like to do, but it's not a thing like I've been focused on. This is the one thing I want to run a game on. One of the ones that just came to me while you were talking is I'm like, American Gods, that would be interesting. I'm not sure what game I would make with it, but I'm like, okay.
Yeah, that'd be a
I'll
fun
think of
role-playing game to
So,
make.
I think there's many different ones. I will say, when you were telling your story of making the rules for G.I. Joe and My Little Pony, for me, that was when I was 9, well before I'd actually run a D&D game, but I owned the books. I definitely made a whole bunch of Star Wars. This is my D&D Star Wars pack. I had here's the class design for Stormtrooper. I'm just saying, I was...
Star Wars is one of those things where it's like, of course, you always want to do something for Star Wars, and I've been privileged to be able to do some things for Star Wars. But, there is no better... Well, we can sit and have an argument.
Do you have a license that you would love to work on?
Yeah.
Maybe Forgotten Realms?
Yeah,
Forgotten
is that one? Okay, well, here's the thing. Being older than dirt means that you get to work on a lot of stuff. There's a lot of stuff I haven't gotten to work on at all as a game thing, but as a writing thing, or as a world building behind the scenes thing to set up for movies or TV shows that may or may not would ever happen. So I've done, Middle Earth. I've done Roger's Amber before Roger died. I've done Trek, I've done Star Wars, I've done, and that points towards the one I didn't get to do because Terry died too soon.
Oh.
Terry Pratchett and I were chatting about stuff, and he said, yeah, I don't know if I want like a full-on role-playing game. And I said, no. There's all these, and they were starting it. They did Thud. Martin Wallace did a number of games set in Ankh-Morpork and in the Discworld, and I was sort of gently leading Terry by the hand because Terry was a guy who loved video games. If you ever went into Terry's writing sanctuary, there were 6 computer monitors set up in 2 tiers of wraparounds. And I said, oh, what are you playing? And he said, like everything. And of course, his daughter Rihanna did Tomb Raider, and so on. But for him, he found the crappiest old game of World War I biplanes, and he convinced the gamers to rewrite the code so he could fly across all 6 monitors and do a dogfight. And he would do that in between writing scenes. And I wanted so much to work on that, and of course, it all got tight.
6-monitor biplane game?
No, the Discworld. Yeah.
I mean, I'm just saying, that's the dream, baby.
No. For me, do that in Discworld. And you have your giant at the back who's dropping little stone boulders on the airplanes underneath you. Like, okay. So there's always one.
There's always one.
And my message
Zelda,
is,
Final Fantasy.
if you want something, it may be unattainable. It may be a license you can't get into. But if you're interested in it, at least have a try for it. Because people die. The sands of time move on.
Thanks, okay.
You can take that official quote. Are we recording this? That was the best advice.
Yeah.
Just try it because people die.
Yeah. And if you wait, there may be no time left because somebody's died and 56 different greedy lawyers are fighting over a property and it's now encumbered and you can't get to do it.
Yeah.
So if you're a fan of somebody, Neil Gaiman got to write with Terry Pratchett because they shared hotel rooms at conventions, science fiction conventions all over the United States when they were both unknowns.
So just share a hotel room with Ed.
Hi.
I'm just saying, this isn't a town.
I don't fart too badly.
I'm just saying, I had a Diet Dr. Pepper from your room. No.
Devin, do you have a license you'd like to work on? Wait, no, you haven't answered any of these questions. We've just been ignoring you entirely.
Oh, wait, Devin's here? Shit. Sorry, man.
Anything you want to work on? Here, your job's dependent. Anything at all? No, just kidding. Sorry.
I don't know. I'm happy to work on anything at the moment. I'm happy to just keep getting paid and doing work.
Devin will work for pay. Money.
We'll get to another question. I just will say I would literally kill to work on Birthright.
Yeah, fair enough.
That'll never happen, I don't think, but I would just...
No, that was Rich's baby.
I would.
A lot of the people in the company didn't get to work on it. Yeah.
So, do we have another question? We are at the point where we're getting closer and closer to the mingle. We've got about 15 minutes left, so I think a couple of questions at the rate we answer them.
Two in the back.
Yeah.
Hi.
Hey, how's it going?
Hi.
Nice to meet you.
In your running games, what is your favorite, or actually, what's your most memorable rug pull you've pulled on players?
Most memorable what?
Rug pull.
Rug pull. The favorite rug pull on your players, if you play.
On players or by players?
I got mine. Yeah, for sure.
Either. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Shall I start?
Sure. Yeah.
Okay, so I had a game just relatively recently. I run a campaign on my Patreon that's ongoing. Any of my patrons.
What is your
have a chance to
Patreon?
play the
What is
game.
your Patreon?
Keith Baker.
Keith Baker.
But it's just I run an Eberron campaign. The characters, the story continue, but any patron has a chance to play, so the players change. And we had a story that was basically a mashup of The Devil Went Down to Georgia and Labyrinth, where young bard makes a deal with Archfey to get a golden fiddle and get the powers of being a bard in exchange for her first love, which she's like, I don't need a boyfriend. And it turns out that no, that's her kid brother. And so she goes to Thelanis to try and get her brother back. She has also given away the first song she ever made, for her own thing. At the very end, they get through all their trials and they face the representative of the Archfey, this masked violinist who's, they do the Devil Went Down to Georgia thing. He's playing a song that's familiar to her and she totally just nails it. She gets amazing skill checks. She's like, I am awesome, kicks his ass. He falls to the ground in shame and humiliation, and she realizes this is her brother who's been trapped in Thelanis for 10 years because, time passes differently. And that was the song she abandoned, that he took and tried to perfect. And not only did she abandon him to fate torment, she has just crushed him after coming back, and he is dying of a broken heart. And there were tears. She was
you broke your players.
And they did manage. Part of it was she was trying to be like, and I asked the other players, I'm like, do you think she can pull him back? It's fairy tales here. He's dying of a broken heart. Do you think she can pull him back? And everyone was like, yes, we believe in her. And I'm like, why do you think? And everybody gave a reason why they thought she could do it. So it's a very satisfying story. But that moment when the mask came off his face and she realized, because she had been so happy about essentially how badly she was kicking his butt. And, to be like, oh, shit. It was very satisfying for everybody. Everybody was just, it was it is the one time I can remember that I actually shed a couple tears because her reaction to the whole thing was heartbreaking.
I have one that's also kind of recent, but also spoilery. So if I ever do publish it, then you all have to be the DM. Everybody agree? Okay, yep. Everybody agree at home?
Please
okay.
Sign. Are you
I ran very recently. Last time I'm one of the celebrity DMs at D&D Nick Castle, and I custom craft adventures for my table. And so this was something that I crafted for my specific table based on the characters they gave me, but had such great feedback that I think I'm actually going to do something with it. But so spoilers. Is everybody okay with spoilers? Okay. I'm not even waiting for you to agree. I basically plane shifted everybody to a new realm that was based on Egyptian mythology, and they had to figure out what was happening to these Egyptian gods that were being corrupted and killed, which is nearly impossible. And in order to do so, they went through many, many trials and puzzles that they had to solve because I'm a puzzle writer. And eventually they are led down to Anubis, where they have to figure out a way to meet Osiris in order to get into the underworld to figure out who the big bad is that is causing all of this destruction. And when they get there, they have to figure out how to perform all of the rituals in order to pass through to the underworld. And my surprise, my rug pull was, oh no, you have to kill yourselves.
Nice.
And
nice.
It was awesome. And TPK.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
I mean,
Suicide Squad.
But with benefits. TPK with benefits, I won't disclose the ending because it's okay. It turns out okay. But yeah.
I mean, I'm just saying, I did make a role-playing system where death is actually how
that's
your character
true.
levels
That's
up.
true.
So
I made a role-playing system in which you cannot die. So there you go.
That's a good idea. Is that My Little Pony? Or is it G.I. Joe?
Oh no, it's actually wardlings. Instead of death, you age.
You want me to do a rug pull?
I got one and you got one.
Okay.
All right, you go. You want me to do mine? Yeah, we'll save yours for the end. I'll do mine.
Okay.
Okay. So my rug pull is recent actually, and it is how I became friends with Devin. I have my original group of players that I played with in the 90s, and we got together when you were allowed to have very small pockets of contained people during COVID. We were playing beforehand as well, before COVID, and we got together again after like 10 to 15 years of not playing together in D&D. We started playing together again, the original characters from back in our day, as old folks getting into our old characters and having a great time. I wanted to have another player at the table, and I needed somebody who was good just to fill out the seats. And I just was like, man, this guy just won a gaming competition here at the round table, and he was a really good player. So I happened to have his Facebook, so I messaged him and I said, hey, would you like to come play D&D? Here's my number, give me a call real quick. And he calls me, and he's like, I'm like, do you want to come play D&D for one day? I've got a really cool idea I want to pull off against my party. But if I NPC it, no matter how hard you try, everybody has a little meta game in the back of their head. I really want to fool them. And I need you to play a bad guy who is infiltrating the party, but you're just going to be a new player. And if they don't, we're gonna mutually drop hints, very obvious hints. And if the players don't pick up on this, the players don't pick up on this, unless it's something super obvious that a character wouldn't do. He shows up, all the old gang's hanging out, and they're like, "Who's this guy?" And it's like, he's a new player. He's gonna play with us. He's here at the round table. I made some bogus excuse to say why he's playing with us. They were fine with it. They liked him. They started playing. He's playing the whole time. The Major Guild of the Diamond Skull and Legacy of Mana turns at one point, he's totally mistrusting his friends, turns to one of my NPCs and says, I trust him more than I trust you, to me. And we're like, okay. Walks them into this castle, which they were trying to do this huge, forever long infiltration session to go into an Eltherian castle, Eltherian keep to try and sabotage them. As they walk in, he's the last one, and he goes, yeah, I slammed the door and sealed it shut, so they're inside this Eltherian castle. Totally not on surprise. And then the players were like, wait a minute, whoa, what? And he's just like, yeah, I just lock it. And they're like, what the? Oh, no. And then he takes his character sheet, and he gives it to me, and under it was his real character sheet to play with the party, which was a prisoner inside the prison.
Nice.
And so then they didn't trust the prisoner because they were metagaming. Because they're like, no, we're not trusting him. And he's like, no, this is his actual character, guys. No, we're not trusting him. I was like, oh, for Christ's sake.
Nice. So you totally weren't going to lock us in that vault or anything like that. I mean,
And then we became friends, and then Legacy Man happened. So that was
By the
my
way,
quote.
thank you for that anvil.
Okay, yeah. So that anvil. So Ed, do you have a rug pullover?
Let's go back to your childhood's childhood. No,
story, Uncle
okay.
Ed.
Yeah. So TSR, playtesting. The one problem in the old TSR is everybody knows everybody else. They're family, sometimes literally family. And they all sit there in ultra-conservative, Christian, God-fearing Lake Geneva, Wisconsin. And they can pretty much predict what people are going to do. So Jeff says, hey, Ed, when you come down, will you playtest run a thing for us? Bruce Hurd has come up with this Glantry thing. And it's like all these evil, decadent, noble families who have, magic. And we need you to run something. I said, sure. And then Jim Ward said, wait a minute. Ed's Canadian. He's filthy. He's going to be doing things. Okay, so all the guys in real life are going to play the female characters.
Yeah.
And all the female staff members are going to play male characters. That'll put a spoke in his wheel, and he won't dare do any of this crazy, dirty shit he does at the table. So here I am running this adventure in which the thief, played by a female staffer, is going to the bedroom of the princess of the kingdom to seduce her. And the thief has been working on her for a while. And she's ready. She's willing. And she's able. And the thief slides into the satin sheets beside her and starts to work. And we're role-playing the stuff. And it's getting hot and steamy.
Dark.
And then this old man in a nightshirt holding a candle lantern comes into the room, and he says, oh, I'm finally finished signing execution orders, dear. Now where are you? I want you. And it's the king. and she's gone into the wrong bedchamber, and she's been seducing the queen one floor down for the princess all this time. And the whole room went, oh, shit. So I one of the things you had to do in those dear gone days, this is before computers, BC, is you had to write stuff out in hand, okay? So I wrote out the playtest report because I had to fill out their little form. So it said, name adventure, and I said, oh shit. So somewhere in the files of TSR, neatly filed alphabetically.
That's amazing. So we have do you have a rug you pulled over your party?
I did do that once.
Yesterday.
Yes, there was.
Good story.
There was a player he was playing as an SMR and was trying to find her mother, the angel. And I had previously asked. I said, "Hey, do you have anything in mind for this angel mother, or can I have carte blanche to do whatever I want?" He says, "Oh, do whatever you want." I says, "That was a mistake." So time passes. One of the party members dies, and he says, There was this thing going on between the two of them where they were kind of frenemies. And he says, well, look, if I die, I'm just ascending to heaven. You're going straight to the bottom of the coldest, darkest pit of hell because of who you are. So I'm going to save you by sacrificing my own soul and swapping that out. And so they do this, and then they end up having to go to a unicorn glade to try to take the soul and to bring it back and try to do something with it. So they get there, and there's an angel there, representative of the SMR's mother, and says, we're ready to take you, and you will meet your mother. And he's and so they do this half an hour of just these elongated emotional farewells. The players have tears in their eyes, are saying goodbye to this character, and as the angel ascends them up, a platoon of holy warriors comes down to wipe them all out. And the player playing the ASMR was saying, oh no. And because she was a fallen angel. And
Okay, so it is 9 o'clock, but we'll do one last question. I know Lucy had a question there for since the beginning, so we'll get the last question out, and then we will get to mingling and signing things and get into the real get the Elminster After Dark.
Elminster After Dark.
More Lou.
Elminster After Dark. Sorry.
Okay, I promise this is actually very short. It's for you, Ed. What inspired you for Icewind Dale?
Icewind Dale.
Yeah, that's my childhood. I grew up since I was 3 years old watching my dad play in the video game based on Icewind Dale and everything. So it's.
And here's where I have to tell you a deep, dark secret. If you go to the game hole, to the Free House Pub in Middleton, Wisconsin, and the attic of that pub,
God, that
game
thing is
hole,
amazing. That thing is amazing.
you will see the photocopy of the original Realms map. I have the original Realms map.
It's not the original
in faint
one.
pencil.
I just found this out. It blew my mind. Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah. So I have the faint pencil original.
Are you about to crush this, Jonathan?
No.
Okay, good. I'm just making sure.
No. And we photocopied it and sent it through the mail because Jeff Grubb said, don't send your originals. And he was right, because we did that in 1986, and there's one package that's still on the way. Okay?
There's a quest.
But north of the spine of the world, that mountain range, I had just drawn a glacier and called it the Endless Ice Sea. And two authors in the early days of working on the Realms, Troy Denning was the one in-house for the Giants trilogy, and he literally sat me down in the TSR library with a map of the Realms in front of him and said, where has nobody been before? And I said, there and there. And he goes, good. And he picked up the map, he put his thumb on the nicest looking piece, and he ran downstairs to Mary Kirchhoff to pitch his novel trilogy to her. Ed says nobody's been here before, so I have a free hand. Bob Salvatore, living in Worcester, Mass, or Lowminster, he was sort of, the whole family lived on about 5 streets. where the two of them met. As a freelancer, was writing stuff, and he said, "So where can I put all this stuff where nobody is being?" Well, because he knew that half the Realm stuff hadn't been published, and he didn't want to step on anybody's toes by marching like an army through something, and not mention a kingdom they were marching through that he didn't know about. So, and I said, well, north of the spine of the world, good. Bam! Icewind Dale appeared in 10 towns.
Bam, novel, spine of the world.
Yeah, and that's his creation.
Wow.
Okay, in the original realms, it's the endless ice sea, this glacier only. The moment he came up with it, then my job was to work out the trade routes and how this would affect the barbarians, the various tribes that lived up there, and what they would know, and where the Remor has went, and where the glaciers flowed, and what happened with Fire Shear. So I was busily writing all this stuff up, and he was writing the manuscript for the first novel, which was The Crystal Shard.
Are you saying the answer to this question is now you must seek out Bob Salvatore?
Yes.
And ask your question again.
You know what's funny? The next thing I was thinking was an evening with Bob and Ed.
No.
Oh boy. Yes. Okay. You need to invest in a lot of makers, Mark. It's an omen. To get Bob to stay for an evening. No. But yeah, he created Icewind Dale. And my job then was to knit it into the realms. And he wrote Crystal Shard, and they sent it to me. And again, before computers. So the manuscript is a pile of typed pages this thick. And I read through it, and Mary says, okay, is there anything we have to change? And I said, yeah, you can't use Grimwald. Because one of the wizards, he just went through my wizards, and he grabbed about 8 names and said, I'm going to use these 8. And I said, no, not Grimwald. We have plans for Grimwald, because he was the butt of the Home Realms campaign characters' jokes. They always did naughty things to Grimwald.
And now J.K. Rowling has them. No. Well,
Anyway.
that was a great question. That was
Yeah.
a great answer to end it. I mean, it's also I've read maybe 7 books my whole life. 2 of them by Simon Hawke, who wrote Birthright, and the rest of them by Salvatore. So
Simon Hawke wrote Birthright?
Simon Hawke wrote 2 Birthright books that I read.
Novels.
Novels.
Well, okay, because I was
Novels.
about to say, I thought I was the only person who had ever read a book by Simon Hawke.
No, are you kidding? He's one of my favorite authors of all time.
Okay, we're going to have to talk about that
Simon
later.
Hawke's
There's a lot to
Birthright.
unpack
No,
here.
thanks,
I have 12 Simon Hawke.
I have trouble sleeping, so I thought I would read some Simon Hawke books before going to bed, and I ended up staying up for 3 days straight. It was
I'm having a problem with 7 novels you've ever read.
Oh,
and
I've
I
not read
have
very many
a
books.
List of things that
Have you seen my writing? It's like, I've written for Shadowrun, and
I have a
the
list of
editors
things I
spent
will
more time
recommend
on
to
mine
you.
than the rest of the books. Okay. Thank you so much for that final question. I just want to say thank you so much again to Devin for DMing this wonderful game. To our tech, Ryan.
Thank you.
To our staff at Roundtable. And let's face it, let's thank our illustrious guests, Ed Greenwood, Keith Baker, and Lisa T.